A Good Karma Brands radio station.
I was looking for reasons to feel better today. I don't know that I do off of last night or off of yesterday. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York app, on YouTube as well. Mr. Scott will be over joining us in just a little bit. Mr. Canty will also be joining us in just a little bit in studio. We've got so much to get to with the Giants and how this weekend has all of a sudden become kind of a sneaky big weekend in a few different ways for the Giants. And can we actually have to start to take them seriously if they win this weekend? I always kind of like that like high-pitched, feigning, questioning voice. But I want to start today with Brian Cashman from yesterday. Listen. It was going to be very difficult to hear anything that was going to make you feel a whole lot better. But what I really look at and wanted to hear, I wasn't going to get. And I knew that. What I did hear were a couple of things that were not distressing. One at least encouraged me a little bit. So I'm going to start with the positive for a second. And that is a softening, if you will. A not change of direction, but at least a suggestion that perhaps the mindset regarding shortstop might be changing a bit. Cashman asked, will Anthony Volpe be the starting that's unfortunate, starting shortstop when he returns?
I think so. I believe in the player still. I think we believe in the player. It doesn't mean that we don't play with, on any level, all aspects of roster assessments. You know, he's 24 years old. I don't think New York stage is too big for him. It just, still finding his way. And, the age is something that, there's a lot of value to reminding yourself about that. You see, whether it's in our sport, players that eventually figure it out, as they go down the line. You watch the NFL, these number one pick quarterbacks that franchise put everything in. Shortstop's kind of a quarterback position, center field catcher in baseball. And you see that players that you expect a lot early on for seasons, but then they're not living up to their growing pains, so to speak, as they go through getting their sea legs under them somewhere. And then they wind up in a different environment, and now they're leading their teams. And I'm sure there are various different reasons for it. But I think Boone was talking about it with you guys earlier. It's like sometimes this isn't linear. It's also not guaranteed. And that's why it's fair to always assess what you have, and is it good enough, and do you need to replace it, and can you find better, and all that stuff. And that, I promise you, always takes place. But I believe in the player. I think we believe in the player.
So there's a few things in there. Number one, do not please try to sell me on the idea that Anthony Volpe is all of a sudden Sam Darnold, okay? We're not going down that road. You want to sell me on the 24 years old thing? Okay. We're 3 full seasons into the big leagues now. And the OPS is like 660 something for his career at this point. And the dominant traits that he is supposed to have only really displayed themselves for one season. And that was his rookie year, and that was on the defensive side. So to suggest that the shortstop is the quarterback, well, no, he's not. At least not in the way the game is these days. And if the shortstop is the quarterback, then the Yankees have got a problem, okay? Anthony Volpe is not going to become Sam Darnold. And by the way, when did Sam Darnold become Sam Darnold? When he left the Jets. Now, in no world would I ever suggest that the New York Yankees have become the New York Jets. But I would say from a perspective of media market and attention, and certainly everything that's around Anthony Volpe in being in his home market and playing for the team that he grew up rooting for, and the amount of pressure that is associated with that, okay. I could see that down the line somewhere else he might become a better player, but you're not helping your argument when you say that. Number two, you're going to remind me about 24. He's only 24. 3 years in the big leagues. 3 years in the big leagues. 24 is not 20. It's not 21. It's not 22. 24 is different than those ages, and it is older. So please do not try to sell me on he's still a young player when we have been in the big leagues for 3 full seasons. But I will give Brian Cashman credit here. If you listen very intently to what was said, there is a softening. There is a softening of what Anthony Volpe is in the future. And if you listen to Aaron Boone, there is a softening on the direct question, is Volpe your starting shortstop next season?
Yeah, he's right in the mix to do that. So I think one of the things
that's where we can stop. He's right in the mix to do that. Cashman, toward the end of that clip we just played for you, yeah, he is somebody that is part of the roster that we're always evaluating and always trying to get better. He is doing the sell job on him in that minute and 5 seconds you heard, but at the same time, he is acknowledging that you do have to take a look at it at least. And while I think the only thing that it would have made me feel a little bit better yesterday would have been Brian or Boone just coming out and saying, yeah, you know, that position's wide open. No, they weren't going to do that. But they gave you a little nugget. They gave you a little something, at least acknowledging there's a problem and we're not going to continue to bury our head in the sand on it. That gave me reason to just think, okay, at least we all understand that we're on the same page here. That made me think that if for whatever reason there had been a superstar shortstop available this offseason to the Yankees, that Anthony Volpe would not keep the Yankees from making that kind of move. All of that makes me feel a little bit better about where we were. Here's what didn't make me feel better. I don't know why we're living in this world where we all have to be treated like we're stupid. I mean, many of us are stupid. And I say us when I say stupid. I am fully including myself in that. I may be stupid. I don't always like to be treated like I'm stupid. So take you back about 4 or 5 days. Maybe it was a week now at this point. Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, both criticizing the roster construction of the Yankees, and also that Jeter said on the Fox postgame, and I'm paraphrasing here, well, I have no direct knowledge of it. It's pretty safe to say that Aaron Boone is not making all of these moves and setting up this lineup by himself. Again, paraphrasing when I say that. This aggravated Brian Cashman to no end. So much to the point where he actually picked up the phone and called Jeter about it. Because it's one thing when dopes like me are saying it. It's another thing when a Yankee icon is saying it. And it's even another thing when it's Alex Rodriguez. We could slot that between dopes like me, A-Rod, then Jeter on top. When Jeter's saying it, all of a sudden, people have to take it more seriously. So, with that in mind, we have Brian Cashman saying yesterday the following, and I'm going to read the quote, in reference to the Jeter comments, the A-Rod comments, and where the Yankees actually get involved in the process with giving Aaron Boone a lineup, telling him what moves to make when it comes to pitching, and how they are involved. And I am direct quoting here. Quote, we, as in reference to the front office, have never picked a lineup. We don't tell him who to play. We don't tell him who to pitch, whether it's in the pen or in the rotation. We do have conversations like every other organization. We move forward a sentence or two. At the end of the day, they, meaning Boone or whoever the manager is, have the power of the lineup and in-game. They are sad throwaway comments that people make that don't really know, end quote. Now, Jeter admitted when he said the comment and when he talked to Cashman, hey, I don't have direct knowledge of this, but I'm pretty comfortable saying this. Brian comes right out and just denies any of it and just says, well, we have some conversations. Need I remind you that it was not all that long ago, a few years, that Brian Cashman came on this radio station with Michael Kay and Don LaGreca and said, look, we give him all the information, and he clearly knows where we want to go. He can go in a different direction. Again, paraphrasing here when I say this, because we looked up and down to try to find the soundbite, and we couldn't find it. And trust me when I tell you, it's not because it doesn't exist. At least I believe. Cashman says, we give all the information and highly suggest what's going on and what the best course of action is. And he can go and do what he wants, but if he does, he better be right. Otherwise, he's going to have some explaining to do. So which is it exactly? I want to believe that there's not a lineup that is handed over down in the dork room in the basement of Yankee Stadium where all of the analytics guys are, and they put it up in one of those, how do I describe it? One of those message shoot things that you'd see at a bank. Like you go to the drive-through in the bank and you put your check in the thing and it shoots up. Like it's not just coming up from the basement. Here's the lineup. An air tube, if that's what it's called. Tom, thank you. Here's the lineup for today. Are you going to tell me that there's not a suggested lineup? Are you going to tell me that there aren't lineups that seem to make sense based on the information that we have? I understand that Aaron Boone is on the same page as Brian Cashman and a lot of the Yankee front office, okay? I feel like they agree on a lot of things. I do wonder how much of it, though, is Boone agreeing because it's understood you better agree. Because otherwise, we're going to have an issue. And that's why he hasn't had an issue. He is a terrific communicator. His players like him a lot. Even Judge, who got annoyed about the injury discussion a couple of months ago, loves him. And there's a lot to be said of that. There's a lot to be said of the way he handles the media when he's the one out in front who is going to have to be the first line of defense against questions on things that happen during the game and problems with the team. Every single day, at least twice a day. There is Aaron Boone with a lot of information when he's making out the lineup. Are you going to tell me that you're not making out the lineup for him and you want to start to argue semantics? Okay, that's fine, Brian. If we want to get into letter of the law and not spirit of the law, that's up to you. If you want to say that every day you do not go down there and handwrite a lineup and put it on his desk and say, this is what we are playing, that's fine. Because I believe that to be true. Do I believe that there are strong encouragements to follow the Yankee plan and to follow the analytical plan? Of course. Please don't make us think that we're idiots and we're all the dopes when we can obviously see what is going on and what has been going on in the game for years. It's not so much that I even care all that much about this discussion, but when you come out and you're trying to argue semantical points to avoid really lying, then it's just, you're treating me like I'm a moron, and I don't need that. You know, I got to tell you, I really, on a personal level, like Brian Cashman a lot. I do. And I've been hard on him over the years. But that guy's a pro in the way he handles himself. And every time things are not going well for the Yankees for an extended period, he does get out in front and answer questions. He doesn't hide all season long. He shows up when there's a problem, when things are not going well, and I give him credit for that. But when you want to get into, we're not doing this and we're not telling him specifically what to do, even though we're strongly suggesting it, and you better have an explanation if you go in another direction, well then, why are we wasting our time here? Okay? Why even deny it at that point? Stupid. It's just stupid. And it doesn't win any favor with any of the fans because everybody knows what's going on. We all know what's been going on. It's been going on for years and years and years. I will not take this seriously when that is a comment he makes. After Derek Jeter. I want you to think about this for a second. Derek Jeter. Think about those two words. Not as a baseball player, because we know everything he was there, but as a public figure, think about those two words. How often in his career as a player, and frankly his career as a broadcaster, has something been said that you would characterize a misstep or saying something without knowledge of the situation? Here's a little tip, okay? When you're somebody who has to sit in front of a microphone and you say, I don't have direct knowledge of it, but I think it's safe to say that Boone does not make all of these decisions, you know what's going on. And you just can't say it because you don't want to betray confidences. That's what's going on. Jeter clearly knew, but Jeter had his own qualifying aspect of that to say, well, I don't have direct knowledge. In other words, I'm not in the room every day, but somebody's telling me what's going on. It is amazing that we get caught up in all of the semantics. And if you look at yesterday with Cashman as a whole, it was about semantics. It was not the job is wide open next year. It was, well, we always have to look at making our team better in every way that we can. And when I look at my team, I still really believe in what Anthony Volpe is capable of doing. And you have to remember, he's still 24. Again, all semantics right there, but leaving the door a crack open. Jeter, his comment, I don't have direct knowledge, but leaving the door a crack open to deniability. Brian Cashman, we don't tell him who to play, but we have conversations. There's information supplied. If you're going against that, are you going to tell me that like whatever computer program they're using every day doesn't come up with, hey, here's a strong projected lineup based on what the numbers are and what we think you should do? Are you going to tell me that that's not it? So is it the computer telling him directly? Like, let's not argue semantics about this. It's stupid. It's stupid. Let's just at least acknowledge one thing. The Yankees are nowhere near what they are supposed to do in their ultimate goal. Last year, if we're going to be fair about it, you want to pound your chest on making it to the World Series and keep reminding us of that? I mean, we can drill down. We can look at what the path was to winning or to getting to the World Series. We can acknowledge it wasn't exactly the toughest road that you faced. And we can also drill down on the fact that when you got to the World Series, you embarrassed yourselves. It's been 16 years. Nobody still wants to acknowledge what the finishing mark of this marathon is supposed to be. And that's winning the World Series. Everybody, you hear the sadness in their voice and all that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're happy that they lose in the playoffs. Of course they're not. But the bar has been moved. It has been moved for many, many, many years. And it has been a masterful job. What you need to know about the Yankees is the following. The payroll does matter. We know that. It does matter how much they spend now. Because isn't it funny how you hear the Yankees whisper about what the Dodgers are doing when they did that for a long, long time? You know what the Dodgers are doing? They're ensuring that they win. That's what they're doing. They're throwing everything they can at that. Remember who used to do that? It is clear that the payroll matters and that ownership is only going to have that go so far. And when you spend some of that money in the wrong places and those investments do not have a return on investment, you notice how you don't really have that ability to just toss away a problem anymore and cover it up with somebody else. It's not, hey, you know what? Let's just go grab Raul Mondesi and take him on for all that money. Let's go do that. Remember when they do things like that? That doesn't happen anymore. Because the weight of making the money far outweighs winning. And that's okay. Because you know what it is? It is like 99.9% of other owners in professional sports. They love the fact that they can own a team. They love more the fact that they can make a ton of money off of their teams when you're in a position like the Yankees. So when Hal gets upset, Hal would have to be upset by a team like the Toronto Blue Jays winning, or not the Toronto Blue Jays, excuse me, like the Tampa Bay Rays. That's when Hal would get upset. Because, wait a second, they're spending a fraction of what I do, and they're winning? No. At least he can look around and say these other teams might be spending less, but, well, what did the Blue Jays spend less? Really, 40 or 50 million less than what we did, but they're still at, 240 million, whatever that number was. I can't get too upset at that. I can't get upset if we're losing to the Dodgers, who went out and spent more. Like, that's not it. His anger is directly correlated to the return on investment, comparatively speaking. As long as everybody else is spending enough money and they're beating us, I can live with that. If you're spending a lot less than we are, a fraction of what we're doing, and then you're beating us, well, then that's a problem. See, I actually believe that if that was the case, that if we had a little mini year-to-year AL East type dynasty moment of the, AL East type dynasty of the Rays making the playoffs, that Brian Cashman actually might have been gone by now. Because if it was that team year to year and their payroll is less than $100 million and they are smacking you around and consistently beating you and consistently making the playoffs and getting similar returns that you are for a fraction of what your investment is, no. That's not going to wash. Even if they don't make anywhere near the money that you do. Then all you can think about is, wait a second, I can make all that money and not spend nearly as much as they do? Or nearly as much as I am right now? Why wouldn't I do that? So there's a lot there. At 800-919-3776, there's a lot there. You can dive into Cashman insulting our intelligence. You can dive into at least the softening on Anthony Volpe and whether or not you feel better about that. And then you can dive into what the real issues are that don't get talked about enough. The lines are open conveniently for you at 800-919-3776. There is also the opportunity to leave comments in the chat over on the YouTube channel. It is the ESPN New York YouTube channel. I would enjoy seeing your comments over there. Bart would as well. He has just entered the room, and he will be back to discuss things with us momentarily. He's very happy that he sees Tom Bauer here today because he feels that Tom Bauer has been ducking him. ducking him, not unlike Rocky was ducking Clubber Lang. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
It's another big weekend on the Fine Line. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz. Saturday at 8 a.m. The Wiz talks about all the big games, including USC at Notre Dame and number 5 Ole Miss taking on number 9 Georgia. In the NFL, the Rams take on the Jaguars in London, and Jaxson Dart and the Giants are in Denver. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, hockey, soccer, and yes, the Knicks are back. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
Very slow in Queens on the Van Wyck, both ways between the Belt Parkway and the Kew Gardens interchange. You also have midday work both directions of the Throgs Neck and Whitestone bridges. Also slow into Manhattan on the Triborough Bridge. You have delays westbound on the Cross Bronx from the Bronx River Parkway out to the George Washington Bridge. Inbound GW, a crash on the upper level. That is blocking the right lane, causing about a 20-minute delay. And this update sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting more than a year. End their wait. Text the word radio to 83393. I'm Adam Walski, 880 ESPN New York.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law, Bite Back.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Honey, this is it. Shot clock winding down. Trailing by 2.
When you can't miss the last shot, and neither can he, don't take slow for an answer.
Pastrello shoots. Did you see it, Carl?
Switch to Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at just $40 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today.
What went through your head on the last shot?
It all happened so fast. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Holding. Defense.
The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
It was a nice moment there that you and Tom had. That was very nice. As Bart's mic almost falls apart. What a disaster that is.
I'm back.
It was a nice moment for you and Tom, where Tom came in here and there was a hug. I have never, well, I shouldn't say never.
Yeah.
I would say that there are few people that I have seen you hug who look less comfortable with you hugging them than Tom Bauer.
You know what it reminded me of? When I was in college, you know, I'm a church boy from Detroit. And my teammate, McAllister, Tim McAllister, he was introducing me to his mother for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, hey, this is Bart. He's my teammate. And I gave her a hug. I see Chris Canty coming in with that Cliff Huxtable Apple hat. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know he's ready to be the world's greatest dad. He got that Cliff Huxtable Apple hat on going on. You know what I'm saying?
Peak dad right now. Peak dad. We in the 7th month. It's on right now.
What do you call that hat? Like,
it's an apple hat. It's called
an
apple hat.
Apple hat?
It's called an apple hat.
Newsboy, paperboy hat?
Yeah, apple
but
hat.
like that looks even a little bit different than a newsboy.
That's like Harlem Night. That's Harlem Night.
That looks like a little wider than
that. That is the official newsboy, paperboy. That's from Lock and Co.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything's gonna be big.
London,
everything's gonna look big on Chris. He's 3,000 feet tall.
Well, I know that, but I'm not criticizing it. It looks good.
Yeah.
But for my own personal reference, I have never known exactly what to call that hat.
In Detroit, we call them apple hats.
But you've seen me wear those hats
I've seen
a
you wear
million
it.
times. We've worked together for years.
But I've never asked what you actually call it. I've seen many people wear that style of hat. That's all.
Okay.
I just want to know for my reference when somebody, because
we
for
call
whatever
them
reason,
hats.
bowler always sticks in my head, and I know it's not a bowler.
The bowler hat is the thing that you
Yes. It's Ollie from the Laurel and Hardy.
Can I ask a question for my reference, for my edification? Sure. How the hell does Bart Scott get over here in time after he's doing Get Up
and
change clothes? How did that? Is he like Clark Kent? Does he have a phone booth outside of the studio?
He didn't get here in time.
It's a onesie.
I was here for the first 20 minutes.
It's a onesie. You know what I mean? It's a onesie. So you grab from Snap.
So you
just pull it off like I'm going in the game. Put me in the game, coach.
God.
He's like Beyonce on stage. Costume change. Rap.
But yeah, so when I was in college, I just hugged his mom, and then and it was kind of like how Tom kind of stood straight. You know, don't know how to lean back, go chest to chest with a person, right? And later, my teammate came to me and said, "I just want to let you know, you're the first black person that ever touched my mom."
I'm not going to lie. So Tom Bauer
Yeah.
came in here before and hugged Bart. Bart thinks that Tom has been ducking him because Tom's a big Yankee fan, and every time that Bart's here, Tom's not.
Yeah.
Since they lost. So Tom comes in.
At least we were in the playoffs.
Yes,
Where the hell was your team?
No, I get no. See, this is the thing.
Don't start that.
No. This
Don't
is the
start
thing.
that. I just got offended for you, Tom. I'm sorry.
Tom
I'm a Yankees fan as well.
Tom was very.
We should be considered a protected class with how bad our manager is.
Tom was very he was very not nice when we were talking about the Mets the day before. And I said, hey, man, you got Slittler coming in, talk about everything that was going on. And, he was very arrogant about it. And, Tom has this, little wry smile like he got right there. It's like it's like a sarcastic type of smile. And I was leaving to go into London the next day. So I was just like, I was leaving to do something else or something.
Yeah.
And I left. And then, it went bad. And it went bad, and then I haven't seen Tom in 2 weeks? And he's been ducking and dodging me and stuff, and I just wanted to know, I want to do a wellness check to make sure he's okay, because I understand how important mental health is. You know we call him Baby Dahmer. I just want to make sure that me and him good. I just want to make sure that me and him good. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people you speak to every time. You know what I'm saying? Because you hope that they come and say, hey, man, you might want to step up,
He look like they about to do one of them Netflix specials on him.
Bart.
Ed Gein show?
Bart, you might want to step up. You might want to step up. I ain't going to say nothing to nobody. I'm just going to get on the elevator and be gone. I'm a haul ass, knowing a break.
I don't know why this popped into my head. Baby Dahmer just sounded like a hell of a Saturday morning cartoon. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that popped into my head. Anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know. Tom, am I the first black guy you ever hugged?
Back to that. That's what I want to know.
No.
Because
you hugged a black guy before?
Tom, you looked incredibly uncomfortable. You looked as if, I didn't want to say it. He said it. I'll say it now. You absolutely looked like you had never hugged a black person.
Tom, where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey. But here's the thing.
There are
no, this was a double arm hug. This wasn't a handshake. This was a hug.
Yeah, are you from South Jersey? Where are you
Central
from?
Jersey.
Central Jersey.
Yeah, some people don't believe it's a thing, but it is.
What's
What township?
He's
I'm from Neptune.
Neptune, okay.
Monmouth County.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, as a lifelong New Jersey person, I can tell you some of our folks are not the most enlightened.
Gotcha.
Some.
They're not the most cultured?
I'm just glad.
Understood.
So, Chris, you're here too, and you can speak to this. You guys heard from your leadership yesterday. How do you guys feel going forward?
Well, how do you want me
Brian
to feel?
Cashman.
I don't know.
Was anything said yesterday that made you feel better?
It's not changing. How should I feel?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about it not changing?
I just had Jess Mendoza on my show on Sportsmanlike Shameless Plug.
I was
ESPN
there with
Radio
her. Yeah,
6
it was
to 10.
good. You got a great show.
And Jess said, the managers, all they do is the bidding of the front office. You can't really blame them for any of the decisions that get made.
So who we blaming?
And then I referenced Booney pulling Cam Schlittler, and she said, oh no, you can blame Boone for that.
Ah, okay.
And so when Jess Mendoza says that it's fair to blame the manager of the New York Yankees, then I feel justified in my outrage of how Aaron Boone has handled this team. And that's why I want to send Aaron Boone to the moon.
So that's what I'm saying. So ultimately, we're going to hold him accountable and not the analytics department, which is one of the robust
I'm
in all
over
of
everybody.
baseball.
I'm over this entire regime.
Yeah.
So,
but
how
Cashman is the fifth Steinbrenner. He ain't going nowhere.
How does it change? Because it looked like maybe Toronto can hit on the road just as well as they can hit at home. So I think we can kind of dismiss those allegations, those indirect shots that the Yankees were trying to take. So with the Toronto Blue Jays not seemingly going anywhere in the near future, how does this Yankees team improve enough? Is it just Garrett Cole and that's it? That's enough? Garrett Cole, Schlittler, Rodon. Now we know Rodon was hurt, and now we hear all these excuses
Max
and all this
Fried,
stuff.
yeah.
And Max Fried, is it as simple as that?
I mean, when you got
shortstop?
When you got dominant starting pitching, you're going to have a good chance in the tournament. Just look at what the Dodgers are doing, right? Now all we need to do is allow our manager to give those guys the runway so they can control the game.
Are they wasting Are they wasting Aaron Judge? Do they need a shortstop? Volpe
well,
is
listen,
it?
Aaron Judge just flipped the narrative on his head, right? We can't blame him for the postseason that the Yankees had. Exactly. This is not on him. Now we're having a conversation of whether or not the Yankees are doing him a disservice by not having the right protection for him in the batting order, not having enough guys that can be able to support him properly. That's the question that we're asking. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't know the answer to that, but you're asking me you're trying to gauge my confidence of this team moving forward, and I will tell you that I have none just because I don't trust this regime. And when you look at where the LA Dodgers are at in comparison to where the New York Yankees are at, it's a different game. Like the comparison, first of all, the Yankees, they had a good season, but they're in the American League. The National League is the cream of the crop when it comes to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And we're not at the same level as teams like the Dodgers or like the Phillies. We're not there. So I don't feel great about where this team is at, and I'm not going to move the goalposts and say that getting to the World Series is good enough because it's not.
Yeah.
This is the longest championship drought that I've experienced as a Yankees fan in my lifetime. The longest one. I was born in 82. I ain't never had to worry about going 15, 16 years without winning a championship. So I don't feel good about the situation right now. I don't feel good about the status quo.
I hope you feel the same, Tom, because I want nothing but bad things for you.
All right, we'll hit the football next with Canty, who is here for the next little bit at 800-919-3776. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. Don't do the live here.
It should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/K to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff.
That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Tire care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees. It should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee, included with every tire purchase with paid installation. You'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, only at Midas.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football. This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Fields avoids the sack until he can't.
I want off the ride. I want off.
We put ourselves in this hole, but we're going to continue to work and get better.
I can't take it anymore, man.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
You do.
I mean, this is something you're supposed to enjoy and brings me nothing. Zero enjoyment.
I mean, I'm still pissed. I don't like to lose. It's very frustrating. Got to keep going. I mean, there's no other option. We have to keep fighting off. We got to keep building on the positive that we've shown.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Chris Canty is here on Sportsmanlike every day on ESPN2, on ESPNU, and of course on ESPN Radio, 6 to 10 a.m. Also, First Take during the week as well. All right, so let's get into it a little bit. I haven't hit on it yet today, but this week, I'm really excited for the Giants game this weekend just from this standpoint. I might actually have to take them seriously after Sunday if they actually found a way. Now, I'm not expecting it, but I might actually have to take them seriously if they got to 3-4 and Dart plays well in Denver.
Yeah, and then you're talking about them coming back to the East Coast and having a game in Week 8 against a team that they just beat in Week 6, the Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah, I mean, you have to start taking the New York Giants seriously. And here's the thing. If the Washington Commanders go down and lose to the Dallas Cowboys, which is entirely possible, then all of a sudden you can go to the place as a Giants fan of entertaining the possibility that this team could be more competitive in the NFC East than anybody thought before the season started.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think one thing we can all agree with especially after watching Thursday Night Football, this thing is wide open, right? Because the door was open from a quarterback that has only been there 10 days, opens it up for the AFC North. But that still can be said here. Dallas is a live dog getting CeeDee Lamb back with an opportunity to put up a lot of points and make
Not
it
to mention the two Tylers, too, right? Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith. Yeah.
Correct. So that strength can only get stronger. The issue is that defense is even weaker. I mean, Dak's going to have to run the ball to try and play the time but control game.
The Commanders' defense is trash bags, too.
But Scary Terry may come back as well. But
both of them didn't practice yesterday, though. No Daboll practice yesterday. No Terry McLaurin practice yesterday. So,
well, it'll be interesting to see if this young Giants football team can take this act on the road. Because the first time we saw it was against an inferior opponent, which we thought was an inferior opponent in the New Orleans Saints, and they didn't do so well with the communication, the turnovers, and all that stuff. Let's see if they have some growth in between that. But listen, I just saw this Denver team over there. They can really choke you out and take you into deep waters and drown you from a defensive standpoint. Now, the hope is that Bo Nix and his offense with Sean Payton really isn't putting up more than 21 points a game. So you're going to have an opportunity to dominate them on the defensive side of the ball, too, granted that you don't give up any big explosive plays. So I'm excited to see if this Giants defense can try and hang with this Denver defense that can be explosive and intimidated at times. 30 sacks. Benito has, 8 of them, 9 of them right now leading the league. Cooper on the other side. But
Nick Benito and Zach Allen are tied for the league in quarterback hits. They got 16 quarterback hits apiece.
And what really scares me is the fact that you don't even know who you're going to deploy Patrick Surtain on, and that's going to let Hufanga be able to come in. And you heard Cooper's starting to sound a little agitated, and people are starting to get agitated. And defensive players get agitated. We create things to be mad about for no reason. So by no means is this a shot at Jaxson Dart. But he said, hey, the quarterback's over there dancing. He's feeling himself. These guys doing backflips. He said,
didn't that sound like Suge Knight at the Source Awards?
Out there.
If you a star defensive player and want to stay a star and don't want the opposing quarterback all up in the end zone,
dancing in the video,
come to Mile High.
So it sounds like they want to try and make a course correction. And, to Cooper said, I wish I had the sound, talking about how
we have it.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and play that because I think
he's a young guy. He's feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something, But we've went against QBs who have ran around in the pocket and have tried to do stuff with their legs. So ain't nothing we haven't seen.
Ooh, come to death row, right? So listen, I would be agitated too. Y'all gotta listen. Just honest fact.
You was hard on rookie quarterbacks when you was with the Ravens.
Yeah.
When you was with the
Eli,
Jets. You was hard on rookie quarterbacks.
We damn near killed Eli. But let's see if you can handle taking 5 from one side. But the thing is, we knew this moment was going to come, where the Giants go from this beautiful story that everybody in the internet could to start saying, okay, you want our attention? You're going to get our attention. So now I don't think the Giants, because of the good wins that they have against the Chargers, against the defending Super Bowl champions, they can't sneak up on anybody. Nobody's going to overlook them. Nobody's going to say, man, we got these bums, even without neighbors. I just want to see how they decide to say, okay, this is when I think the Giants, if they really believe in this regime and believe that they need to go out and do their due diligence and go get another receiver, be it the draft or through a trade. Because if not, you're going to run into these moments. If you truly think you could compete, you got to go out and trade for a receiver and give your guys an opportunity to win and give them a fighting chance.
All right, good talk. Listen, I thought he was talking to you. He was talking to you. What are you talking to me?
He was talking to everybody.
Both of us.
I'm just looking straight at the TV because I can't focus on one thing at the same time.
Chris Canty is with us in studio on Sportsmanlike every day, 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and on ESPNU with Michelle Smallman and Evan Cohen. Is there, with everything as wide open as it is there any reason to look at this through 6 weeks and now 7 weeks coming up and say anybody's a particular favorite at this point?
No. There's only one team that I feel like I can trust in the NFC from week to week, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody else is one of those situations where I've got to have more information. I need a bigger body of work before I can decide whether or not I believe that they're true championship contenders. The Philadelphia Eagles have the talent. They do. But they still have the issues in their locker room, and particularly the chemistry between the quarterback and the wide receiver, A.J. Brown. And I'm not saying that A.J. Brown is, a malcontent or he's the – but I will acknowledge this. A.J. Brown said shortly after they won the Super Bowl that he was not content with winning the Super Bowl in the fashion that they won it as an individual player. He wants to be able to go out and dominate.
I got to give you credit because I did not catch that Instagram post, and I heard you talking about this the other day.
Yeah, 1,000%. And so I don't know that you can do anything to satisfy A.J. Brown. I don't know that you can convince him to sacrifice for a team-first agenda when he just told you that doing that with the results being success at the highest level of the sport is not enough. If the championship is not enough, big fella, how do you make him happy?
Yeah.
You just paid him.
Throw me the ball.
He just won a ring, and he's not happy. So again, the Philadelphia Eagles have the talent to fix all of the problems that are happening on the field, yet something's wrong. And they're telling you something is wrong because they had the Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown meeting a couple of weeks ago.
Allegedly.
They had the meeting this Monday with the offense trying to discuss the identity. The Philadelphia Eagles themselves are telling us there is a problem going on, and they don't know how to fix it. This feels more reminiscent of what we saw in 2023 than what we saw through the first 4 games of 2024, which is why I am willing to entertain the possibility of the Giants jumping into the mix, the Cowboys jumping into the mix, if those two teams are able to get a win in Week 7.
Let me ask this question, though. Is it just possible the Eagles are like those friends in your life who they talk about how much they hate drama, but they need it? They need it. Like the Eagles always have something going on, man.
Sure, but
but BG and Bart has talked about this a lot. Brandon Graham's not around. The other guys are not around as much. Lane Johnson's really the only guy around who can kind of help settle it. But
Lane Johnson, he's around, but he's hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
So like when you're not on the field, and Bart knows this, when you're not on the field, guys in the locker room don't really want to listen to what you got to say.
Right.
So Lane Johnson is trying to get healthy, get back on the field. Landon Dickerson, he's trying to get right from a health standpoint. I don't want to minimize the injuries that this Eagles team has faced because their offensive line and defensive line have been banged up through the first 6 games. But there is something else bigger going on. This feels a lot like the 2005 Philadelphia Eagles coming off of a Super Bowl run.
Is that the dream team?
No, the 2005.
That was 07.
That was Terrell Owens, Donovan McNabb. Remember the Super Bowl in Jacksonville against the Patriots? They lost the Super Bowl. But they came back the next season. T.O. only played in 7 games because there were issues between him and McNabb. The organization ultimately ended up parting ways. I'm not saying that the Philadelphia Eagles are getting rid of A.J. Brown. I don't know that it's going to be an addition by subtraction because, like I said before, they just paid him. What I am saying is there's something not quite right about that team, and that's why I can't say that they're going to be the runaway favorite in the NFC East.
I mean, it was the same a couple years ago when, the only loss they had in 9 or 10 games was against the Jets, and they couldn't get it back on track.
Yeah.
And nobody could really explain how a team could be 11-1 and then can't get out of their own way.
Lose 6 of their final 7 games, and the head coach said he didn't have any answers and all of those other things.
And they changed. And the last time they struggled like this, they changed coordinators offensively.
Yeah.
Right. So losing Kellen Moore is a big deal as they look to find their identity. You can call a lot of the same plays, but it's about the person that's calling the plays and the timing of when you call the plays and the game plan that's really important.
But Bart, the beauty of everything that you're saying is that in the midst of chaos, there is opportunity. And if you're the New York Giants, this is your opportunity. That's why you restructured the contracts of Paulson Adebo and Von Holland. You're creating some extra cap space because you want to give yourself the flexibility if there is an opportunity for you to add before that early November trade deadline. So I'm with you 100% that because of the state of the NFC East, because the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles look uneven, because the Dallas Cowboys defense is absolutely atrocious, if you're the New York Giants, despite starting a rookie quarterback, you can believe to some degree that your team has a chance to evolve into a squad that can contend for a playoff spot. Yeah. We just got to see how it goes with weeks. I think these next 2 weeks for the Giants are critical.
Shut it down or go time.
In terms of being able to justify the front office being aggressive and adding to this roster.
Because we're trying to figure out how aggressive is this regime going to allow Daboll and Schoen to be in spending future assets that they may not even be around to be able to spend or to decide, right? So, like, I'm not going to let you come and spend all this future assets that could be potentially something for our next head coach.
You're looking at it the wrong way, though. It's not about Daboll and Schoen. It's about the development of Jaxson Dart.
No.
And does the weapons or lack thereof keep him from
growing,
his continued growth? The trajectory of Jaxson Dart has to be the priority for the organization.
Okay, want to get into this more in a sec. Can you hang for a bit?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
I got to step aside for a sec. Canty with us. We got a lot to get into with this because there's a lot more on that Jaxson Dart bone. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN Radio.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same day and next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Big color, bigger savings. It's Sherwin-Williams' biggest super sale. Get 40% off paints and stains October 17th through the 27th with prices starting at $29.39. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
You should hear the curses flying right now.
We can get into that. Yeah, we can get into that.
We'll get to that in a few minutes.
I just don't. Bart Scott is carrying the water for Aaron Rodgers.
You should be able to apologize.
I'm not apologizing.
And admit you're wrong.
How
can you not say you're wrong?
Why am I apologizing?
You said he couldn't play.
He lost to Joe Flacco, who just got there 5 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, he lost to Joe Flacco. Last I thought, he scored the touchdown.
He threw 2 picks in the second quarter that resulted in 10 points.
Hold on. That pick was not his fault.
Come on, man.
No, Metcalf. Metcalf.
Come on, man.
Metcalf ain't got to hold on to that.
Come on, man.
It's never his fault.
Man. Hold on. Right? It's never his fault.
Oh, my
but
God.
You make more excuses for Aaron Rodgers than a brother going to jail.
Did you see that interception that Metcalf gave up?
Listen.
Aaron Rodgers threw that in the only place, the perfect place. That's Metcalf. That has nothing to come on, man.
There was a moment
what about,
last
what
night.
about the one, the Jordan Battle? What about that one? That's on DK too?
There was a moment last night at the beginning of the game where I sent out in the group text for the show of, I'm going to have to root for this freaking guy. Now, after that first touchdown, with that whole drive, they're running around the place, and then I watched the rest of the game, and I don't have to. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
He found fair move. He found fair move with it. Come on, man.
I'm not saying it's not his fault.
Yeah, he did that because he's throwing 7-on-7. There's nobody rushing the passer.
Here's the problem.
The guy was back there making a cup of coffee.
He almost lost to Justin Fields. That
almost happened, yeah.
This dude is 4-2. And Denver almost lost to Justin Fields.
No. You lose me after last night. I'm sorry.
So he's
after you lose to Flacco and the Bengals and you're controlling that game early.
No, I love this because Bart is saying Aaron Rodgers didn't lose the game last night. So Aaron Rodgers won the game in New England?
I'm
asking you a question. So if he didn't lose the game last night, that means that Aaron Rodgers won the game in New England.
I can't. You guys just paint whatever narrative you want. Y'all said this man couldn't play. This man is playing. He playing elite quarterback. He's playing good quarterback.
Can we agree on one thing?
He got no receivers. He out there with a jumbo package.
Aside from, he's got no receivers. He's got DK
Metcalf.
He got a jumbo package. He out there with a 300-pound tight end, Jonnu Smith, and we forgot Fairmouth was even still alive.
We can all agree on one thing. The Steelers' defense stinks.
Yes, $179 million. The highest priced defensive unit in all of football, and that's what you get from it.
Okay.
That you never want to be expensive and old, and that defense is both.
Yes.
I want to go back to the Dart stuff for a minute.
Okay.
Because I have lived in this mystery over the last several weeks of balancing the Dart development, which you're 100% right on, is the most important thing to come out of the Giants season. And how much of that is dependent on the coach and how much of the future of the coach is actually dependent on Dart. And I'm having a lot of trouble reconciling the notion that if Dart plays well, that means that Daboll should come back. I don't believe that. I don't think Daboll's hurting him, but I don't think Daboll should be getting enough credit where if the Giants win 5 games again, but Dart looks like he could be the answer, that I'm keeping this guy again. I would have made that commitment last year if that was the case.
But can I ask you a question? Does Daboll get any credit for finding Jaxson Dart? Because remember, go back to the draft war room optics for the New York Giants when they moved up to draft Jaxson Dart.
Yeah.
And Joe Schoen looked at Brian Daboll and said, "You got your guy." This was Brian Daboll's hand-picked guy. He was able to sift through this class of quarterbacks, and he said, you know what? Based on where we're going to be able to get to, based on what's available, Jaxson Dart is our guy. Do you give him any credit for that? Because if you do, then you got to give him an opportunity to see it through. And it's not as if Brian Daboll doesn't know how to work with quarterbacks. We saw what he was able to do with Josh Allen and getting him to turn a corner with the Buffalo Bills. So,
yes, but the turnover problem didn't go away until he was gone.
Yeah,
that's true. Turnover problem didn't go away until he was gone.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But Josh Allen, as we know him, didn't start to emerge until we saw what Brian Daboll was doing working with him.
I will give Daboll more credit in the fact that they were aggressive enough to go up and get him at the back end of the first round, as opposed to Allen, who was a top 5 prospect for everybody.
Yes.
For everybody.
Exactly. And so I think you have to give Brian Daboll an opportunity to build the offense, build the personnel around the quarterback in order to maximize what Jaxson Dart is bringing to the table. And I think based on what we've seen through the first 3 starts, you won 2 of them against teams with winning records that could potentially win their respective divisions. I absolutely think that you give Brian Daboll an opportunity.
But then, against New Orleans, that's a game that you're expected to win. They didn't come through.
First road start for a rookie quarterback. Come on, man.
I just don't know if him finding Jaxson Dart and Jaxson Dart having 2 of the best wins, or the Giants having 2 of the best wins in football, gives him a clean slate, because we've seen a lot of good young quarterbacks, head coach get fired after the first year, and if that was the case,
but that's not the model that you want to copy.
I know. We like to think that the Giants are going to win more than 5 games. The Giants can win 8 games. They can win 3 games.
What's the bar to clear for you for Brian Daboll? How many wins does he have to have, or does it just come down to what it looks like?
It comes down to me what it looks like with Jaxson Dart, right? Because you can also look at Shane and say you're a horrible builder of a roster, right? You can say that too. So do you keep Daboll and get a new general manager? That's a real thing too. If Dart looks good, but let's say this team doesn't have the talent that it needs, we don't have the infrastructure that we need, like do you start saying that?
Here's the other problem too. How do you evaluate all of it if Dart can't stay out of the injury tent? Because this is a problem. Like, the message, is it just going to take him getting his clock cleaned for the message to actually get through about getting down? Because that can ruin everything.
Was Jonathan Cooper from the Broncos sending that message?
I think so.
That was the warning?
Well, but this has been a problem for him, and Bob Papa said this earlier in the week, that it's all the way going back to college. They're trying to teach him to not take these hits.
You can't play football safe, though.
I know, but you got to be smarter. You can do it smarter.
But let me tell you something.
Even Lamar did it a lot smarter before he was after he was getting hit early.
See, Lamar got so much speed that you just have to get him down. You thank God
I can go to 5-6 different guys who went and learned how to do it. I need them out there.
Listen, as a linebacker, I would take the Scatterable thing personal. I say this dude got a lot of guts. Let me show him where his easy button is at. Because I'd be trying you want to come here with your head down like a little ram? Let me show you how to lift that up.
I'm saying Zach Bond thought he was going to do that.
Yeah.
That didn't really work out for him.
It's some out there.
No, I'm not saying that there's not some out there. And there's real killers out there for the Denver Broncos. So let's be clear about that. But I do think that there is a different type of energy with Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterable. I think these guys got something, man. I really do.
You play their energy. You play with Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah.
It's like a supernova. Yeah. It's beautiful, but it don't last long. You can't run. You can't run everybody over.
Tell Brodney Poole that.
No, I get that.
All right.
Yeah. When he came through that thing on the Saluki boy, he never got one up on me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But what I'm saying is, it's beautiful now. We're applauding it until the concussions come.
So what you're saying for Jaxson Dart is you need to make sure.
No, not Dart, Scatterable.
No, we're talking. I feel like Scatterable ain't gonna save.
Right, I feel like
Brian Daboll's job.
No. What I'm saying is, I feel like the energy that they bring collectively, I think they both need to play
off
smart.
Each other.
Yeah, I think they both need to play smarter. You can't give everybody your whole body, because that's one hit on them, but that's collective hits on you. Like, I just get concerned that we're going to see Scatterable. He's going to be great. Remember Peyton Hillis had a couple years. Now we know he was on the sauce, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, let's keep it real.
Allegedly?
No, hell no.
Allegedly.
I'm trying to keep you out of a deposition. Would you just allow me to say allegedly?
Allegedly, because this dude This dude went from a fullback to a tailback and gained 30 pounds and got faster.
Yeah.
I ran into this dude. Never in my life have I ever ran into a dude, and I'm talking about, I bring that thing. I brought that thing to him, on the sideline. I fell on the ground. He was over me yelling. I said, oh, hell no, that ain't human. Ain't nobody do that to Bart Scott. Oh, hell no. You got to be
So he gave you that hit stick.
Man, he gave everybody that year to hit stick. Okay. Anytime you get on the cover of Madden from Cleveland, you owe some stuff. Ain't no way in hell. Cleveland? Hell no.
Allegedly.
2 more years, we never heard from that dude. We never heard from that dude again.
Bart, to answer your question, though, I think that what we're seeing from the New York Giants is growth. And it's a reason for the fan base to hope. And we know that is the biggest thing that ownership is concerned with. The draft class from Joe Schoen is coming through, right? Abdul Carter has looked great as advertised. Cam Scatterbull, Jaxson Dart, even backup tackle Bo has looked great. Like they've got players from this draft class that are contributing. It makes it feel as if they're on the right track. And for a regime that inherited a lot of misses when it came to draft picks, a quarterback that was not of their choosing, they had to turn it over. And it feels like this organization is forming an identity around a defense and a young quarterback for the future.
They just put a poll up on the chat on the YouTube page. Who's winning the Oklahoma drill, Cam Scatterbull or Bart Scott?
Man, come on, man. Listen. I walked over tougher people, like Rex said. I walked over tougher people to a fight than Scatterbull. The hell out of here.
Hey, let's, speaking of hope, let's suck all of it out of the room and talk about the Jets, shall we?
Why? Why do we want to do that? Why do we want the Giants are so much more
I know.
Much more fun.
Because we're gonna play big. We're gonna play big in the draft game. You know what I'm saying? We gonna listen, we're gonna be the first one up. Are we trading back? Are we moving from number one? That's why, baby.
Listen, man.
We control the draft board.
Listen, my former teammate, Aaron Glenn, I want him to have success.
That was neglect.
With the New York Jets.
That was malpractice.
That was somebody
malpractice.
That is homegrown, blood in the ground. But this loyalty to Justin Fields could get him fired.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about right now. Listen, we had Peter Schrager on my show this morning on Sportsmanlike. And Schrags a couple of weeks ago said that Jets fans need to be patient. Everybody in the organization was talking about how it was a slow build with Dan Campbell, 0-10-1 his first year with the Detroit Lions before they were able to stack up a few wins at the end of the season. Today, Schrags was singing a different tune. He says, yeah, they want to be patient with Aaron Glenn. Ownership wants to be patient, but everybody in the building would feel a lot better about things if they're able to get a couple of wins before Thanksgiving. You know what that tells me? That it is not off the table that the New York Jets could be one and done with Aaron Glenn, and that scares the hell out of me for my former teammate because I think he has what it takes to be a good coach in this league.
To be loyal to a fault, though. I mean, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. And we thought, maybe the Bengals might be something that's an easy win. The Panthers, they haven't won on the road, but, man, they've been on a heater the last couple of weeks.
You talk about loyalty, though. Chris Canty is with us in studio. The loyalty that concerns me is not that of Fields with him. It's with Steve Wilks with him. Because I heard him make the comment about 10 days ago of, why he wouldn't consider changing anything up. Clearly there's an issue on defense somewhere.
Well, not anymore.
Aaron Glenn's,
for 1 week. For 1 week.
Again, 1 week. Overseas, everybody calm down.
No.
I know, Jermaine Johnson, I know all of it. But the problem is that I heard him make the comment about loyalty a few weeks ago about how Dan Campbell stuck with him in the middle of that when people were giving them flack about the defense. So the Jet defense, to me, has been the biggest disappointment of the whole thing up until this past week.
Yeah, I mean, that's the side of the ball where Aaron Glenn is supposed to be an expert on, but I mean,
but also with what they had in place already.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Have you seen that secondary? Have you seen it?
Well, he was wrong about Brandon Stevens. He brought him in.
Yeah,
he stinks.
I understand that, but that's because they didn't pay DJ Reed. Have you seen that secondary?
I understand, but they also they have plenty of guys up front that are supposed to be changers on that front.
The communication, because I had to do my breakdown and all that stuff last week and all that stuff all week. I had to analyze the game. What I saw was their communication was so much better on the motions and the over routes. They rock and rolled the safeties, and at times when they brought the guy in motion Cisco would go down and play corner, and then Stevens would play the proper leverage. And that's where they really what they've been missing, giving up big plays, 2 guys on 1 guy, the miscommunication. They had the meeting, right? They said that they said that they weren't holding up their end of the bargain, and it looked like they kind of figured it out for 1 week. Right, for 1 week, because Bo Nixon.
Well, are we surprised that they got communication issues with Quincy out of the lineup?
Yeah, well, Quincy, but also in the secondary, the communication about how to grab the speedos. And teams know because they play like press man 57% of the time that they can just confuse them. A couple weeks ago, I broke down film. They were running to each other because they weren't communicating passing routes.
Yeah.
And they were running people behind the line of scrimmage and people in front. And they were just basically knocking each other off because they didn't communicate. So I think they figured that out. Now let's see if they can carry that on. What I said, and I know he kind of teased me with the Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson makes a big difference.
Jermaine Johnson's a big-time player.
Because if you have to depend on Michael Clemens to do anything that requires any football acumen and football instincts, you're going to be in trouble. You know, every time it was a boot or something, he still gave it up to Bo Nix. Every time Jermaine Johnson was out there, he played it right. It's wind back, cut back, reverse, boot. You go through it in that instance. And, you know, for some reason, Michael Clemens needs to be a guy that you put inside and you just say, run wild and do what you want to do and we'll make up for you. So I think that they figured that out. Now let's see if the offense – the special teams were exceptional. The return game, Bromley was a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
You know, he came out, helped them get their first turnover.
Yep.
But, you know, I think he prefers and Wilkes prefers a much bigger nickelback because I think they've been disappointed with the health and also the performance of Michael Carter since he's got paid his money. You know, so I think that, you know, the Jets, if they can just start with consistent defense and try and play great special teams, they're going to have to figure something out, especially
Bart,
if Garrett Wilson is out.
Let me put it this way, Bart. And I understand all of the different reasons and the explanations as to why the Jets have struggled on defense, offense, and otherwise. Let me put it to you this way. Next 4 games for the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Home against the Carolina Panthers. On the road against Cincinnati Bengals. Bye week. Home against the Cleveland Browns. Rookie quarterback starting.
Yeah.
On the road against New England. You better run into a win at some point.
Yeah. If you don't do that.
Over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this. You can help yourself. You can help yourself if you can get 2.
Well,
I'm just gonna put it there.
Drake may be a MVP candidate.
Yeah, because right now we're trying to decide whether or not Aaron Glenn is going to be the next Dan Campbell or the next Rich Kotite.
Well, but here's the problem.
We don't want it to go full Kotite.
Here's the biggest problem, though, in all of it. What did we talk about earlier? The incredible parity around the league, and we can't tell you who the best teams are. We can tell you who the worst teams are.
Yeah, we I think they ranked us 31st, right behind Cleveland.
Who would you say? Who's out of?
Cleveland got a dub.
I'll put some teams in front of you. Okay, you tell me. Even though the Jets are 0-6, would you rather
Jets are the worst team in football?
Jets are the worst team in football.
I would say Cleveland.
They're worse than the Saints.
They are the worst team in football.
I would say Cleveland.
At least the Saints are getting competent quarterback play.
They're worse than Tennessee.
Yes, they are the worst team in football.
Tennessee lucked into that win.
I would say they're better than Tennessee and they're better than Cleveland. Even though Cleveland defense is dominant, I think they're better than those 2 teams.
How about this? The worst point differential in the league, and I'm not saying that that's the defining factor, because I don't necessarily disagree with you, but anyway, worst point differential in the league is Tennessee at -78. You know who else is -78? The Bengals at 3-4. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's because Brownie had 2 of the worst, 4 of the worst weeks, or 3.5 of the worst weeks. I mean, I'm nervous now because Joe Flacco proved that, listen, he can get rid of that ball and he can still throw it at a high level, and those receivers are a mismatch against anybody.
All you got to do is put it in the general vicinity of one of them guys, and they're going to make plays. Joe Flacco dropped back to throw the ball 47. Well, he had 47 pass attempts yesterday.
Matthew Berry, Andrew Berry, whatever his name is.
Bart, 33 of those pass attempts went to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. He had a 110 passer rating, 257 yards, 22 completions, and 2 tutties.
Yeah, Joe Flacco ain't no fool. He didn't get touched.
Just throw the ball to number 1 and number 5, and good things happen. You know the most embarrassing thing about that with the Steelers? Is that they built that secondary to stop those 2 receivers.
Yeah. I could have told you Jalen Ramsey was cooked. I knew that already.
I thought they were going to use him as Charles Woodson, as a safety or somebody over tight ends. He don't have the foot speed to keep up with these guys anymore.
Who does? Those two dudes. I
mean,
who does?
The Ravens built their secondary hoping that they can stop Cincinnati. They ain't going to work against them either.
That's the fools, Aaron. That's a fool's
They
errand.
like, hey man, we got Malachi. What's the safety isn't a good guy.
Malachi Moore.
Yeah, No.
Starks.
Starks.
Yeah.
Starks hasn't panned out. Zaire Alexander sings barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like within that division, man.
But here's the thing,
hot.
Bart. Just to bring it back home, the New York Jets are one of the 2 worst teams in football. Definitively.
Yeah.
It's between y'all and the Tennessee Titans.
I'm just hoping the Giants come back to it so you can feel my
Oh,
hurt.
no, that ship is sailed, bro. Don't even put that on us. Don't put that evil on us.
Philly going to come back for revenge.
Okay.
Canty with us in studio. 1 or 2 last ones here. Number 1, you said Tampa Bay earlier.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Well,
could be right there
in
with
the
them.
NFC.
Yeah, Detroit.
If you're looking in the AFC, even though they're 5-1, what chance do you give the Colts?
I think the Colts should be viewed as the favorite to grab the number 1 seed in the conference.
Do you think they'll go to the Super Bowl off that?
Well, if they're hosting a home playoff game and said playoff game is in the divisional round, which means you're one of 8 teams that can get to the big game, why not?
Okay.
Well, you're a
I
Daniel
understand.
Jones guy?
People's trepidation on the Colts is because of the last name on the back of the jersey of the quarterback. And I understand it. The way that things ended for Daniel Jones with the New York Giants, it didn't go well.
Chris, I did one of their games early in the year. That's not the Daniel Jones that played here.
That's my point.
That's the Daniel Jones. That's the Daniel Jones I've always seen. Though.
And that's the Daniel Jones that Saquon Barkley has sworn up and down is a good quarterback in this league.
Yes.
Saquon has always backed Daniel Jones and said that this dude can play.
The Giants have ruined a lot of people. Xavier McKinney left. Became instantly one of the best safeties in football.
If you're the Giants brass, if you're the Mara and the Tisch family, doesn't that have to make you feel some type of way?
Even
all of these other guys go other places and they can still play. Why couldn't they be that here?
But that's why
Ingram.
That's why I look at when I bring up the idea of why should Dart be able to save their jobs. I look at where the other guys have gone, and you can complain about, well, Joe Schoen never got to draft his own guy. More importantly, he made the decision to pay Daniel Jones.
And he laughed about paying Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
What's the identity of our team going to be? A running back making $12 million a year?
Yeah, ask Atlanta
that actually worked out for the Eagles last year. They don't got to ask Atlanta. They saw it with the Eagles last year. He rushed for 2,000 yards.
Yeah. Ask Baltimore.
So, have you watched the Saquon doc yet or not?
No, I haven't gotten into it.
It's a whole doc?
Yeah,
well, it's
from
like
when he came into the league until now, yeah.
I don't know how long it is.
He been having somebody follow him for that long?
Yeah.
Or he just put some stuff together?
No. It's been a documentary they've been putting together for a long time.
8-year documentary?
No, I think the majority of it is based on right after he got hurt in Chicago with the tearing of the ACL.
Okay.
And then up until
it's literally been years, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's supposed to be all right.
I hope it's a good movie.
We're getting closer here.
Yeah, because he's got a horror picture down there in Philly right now.
Is it on Tubi?
Why are you gonna do that, man, like that? Why are you gonna try to fade him like that, man?
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Because Warner Brothers brought my life story and they ain't never put nothing out.
You salty about it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
Damn Blindside through my story.
Did the check cash?
That sounds like a BET Plus special.
No. The check $300,000. Yeah, it cash.
300. Yeah. Okay. Then you got the money.
But I might have to come out with a series. Everybody hates Bart.
You're inching closer here. We're 2.5 months away. Just where are you here mentally with this whole fatherhood thing?
We've got all of the big ticket things that we needed to get. We got the rocker or the glider, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. We've got the bassinet. We've got the crib. We've got the strollers, the travel stroller and the regular stroller. We've got the car seat.
Yep.
We got.
I just pictured you at TSA.
We got about 3 months worth of Pampers.
Got to have a bunch of bibs.
We got the diaper genie. We got the bibs. We got the onesies.
Still gonna smell like poop. Y'all need to get the.
We got
the
butt paste stuff that you got to use for the Pampers. You know, we got the majority of the things that we need. Yeah, exactly. We got the majority of the things that we need. We got the little thing that you use to wash them in the bathtub.
That's not what I asked.
What do you mean?
I want to know about your mental state.
I'm a train wreck. Big fella. The more I learn, the more I realize that I don't know.
Yeah.
And with most things in life, like you got to get a license to do it. They just let me and my wife get pregnant and get ready to have a child.
Yeah, no, they let anybody do that.
Yeah, like they just like, you know, in order to drive a car, you got to get a license, right? Like you got most of the time you got to be qualified to do something. Nobody checked my qualifications to be a dad.
Well, you got any nieces?
So I'm nervous as hell.
You got any nieces and nephews?
I got 2 nephews.
Well, so you've been in training?
No, I haven't. I ain't changed the diaper.
No.
Not one.
Best thing about being an uncle, you're in and out of there. You get to be, Chris gets to be the jungle gym for a couple hours, and then
I ain't got to worry about bath time. I ain't got to put them down for bed. I ain't got to feed them.
You ain't never did nothing?
None of them things. I don't hold other people's kids, bro.
Why don't you go rent a kid for a couple of weeks?
Listen, if I ain't make them, I'm not going to break them.
But go rent.
My biggest fear is that I'm going to drop my kid on his head. I'm terrified of that.
Nah. And they bounce back, too. I got dropped on my head plenty of times.
Well, that explains a lot.
Just saying. They bounce back. It builds character.
Do they, though? I mean, if you're the example for that, do they bounce back?
Yeah, and I got my head close in the door one time. Wooden door. Like, we weren't supposed to be outside. You know, back in the day, your mom said, stay in the house till we get home, till I get home. And we were outside, and then we saw my mom. We could see my mom coming up from the end of the block. We live on the other end. So we run back, and then – And like right before she's about to pull up, they're like, "Oh, here she come!" And I put my head out the door, and they was closing it to close it so she wouldn't see that we were outside. Smashed my head right there.
Wow.
Yeah, both sides.
My dad once
there was so much that I didn't know about you, but that explains a lot.
My dad once rolled up the window on me when I had my head out the window in the back seat of the car. I still can't prove it, but I think he did it on purpose.
Did you break the window?
No.
With that head?
Almost broke my neck.
No, it got his neck.
No, that was back when I had a neck. We'll talk to you next week, brother.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Chris Canty, 11:27. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
Go rent some babies.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE, back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back?
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Listen up, football fans. You won't. At Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters, but those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
kids. 1-877-CARDS for kids. Donate your card today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Audio files in moments. Bart and Carlin, ESPN, New York. Also,
you want me to tell them about Sandwell? Why you fix
you
your
can
headpiece?
do what you like.
Yeah, why you fix your headpiece? I'll tell them about Sandwell.
Okay.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year.
Wait, hang on a second. You said headpiece. Let's not make this out like I'm wearing a rug, okay? I was fixing my earpiece.
I ain't say your helmet.
Go ahead.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out here tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't even have to live like that anymore. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that delivers real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck, back, joint pain and migraines, nerve pain and sciatica. And with a plan that is customized for you, same-day or next-day appointments are available. And with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think.
Couple of the comments coming in.
And it starts today.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Couple of the comments coming in on YouTube. Bart, this from Black Metronome. Bart's had CTE since he was 5, and he's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing fine.
I'm not only the president, I'm a patient.
Listen,
it builds character. It's a callus around my skull.
I was the last of 6. By that point, it's just like whatever.
It was no baby. I'm not baby-proofing the house twice, especially when they had older kids for all that time. They're like,
yes.
Listen, if he sticks the fork in his socket, he'll learn.
And they did look at my head and say, he ain't gonna hurt himself. It's fine.
He's good.
It'll be absolutely fine. Audio files. Let's go. Okay.
Time's still reeling, man. I'm telling you, he's hurt inside. I know pain when I see it.
Well, what I was doing was I was saving a cut on the page. So
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That wasn't you. That was all me. I should have done that earlier. Bart, welcome back officially, I guess.
Yo, well, it's great to see you, Tom.
Oh, it's great to
see
you,
With a smile on your face, feeling good. You finally accepted it, right? The first thing is acceptance and then grief and all that stuff. You went through the 7
The 5 stages of grief?
the 5 stages of grief, yeah.
Yeah, I go through the 5 stages pretty quickly. And especially when it's the same thing over and over and over again with the New York Yankees.
Through it in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what do we got?
All right, I am going to start with football, though, since we just talked about that, and we're going to start with the New York Giants because a lot of rumors have been going around the world of the New York Giants, about the possibilities of them making a trade for a wide receiver at the trade deadline because, hey, now you got the quarterback. Now maybe you should invest in some weapons around him. Jordan Renan was asked on DPH on Rothenberg this morning if the Giants will make a trade.
Look, maybe a mid-level receiver is possible. I just don't want to see an asset wasted when they're already in a position of being a little bit shorthanded going into the draft this coming year. It's ultimately what we were talking about earlier. I don't want the guy now making trades to try to save his job when he may not be making the picks in the future. I don't want to shorthand the guy in the future who I want to try to give him the best chance I can to be successful if I am making a change.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough deal to make because you also want to give the guy that is trying to save his job the opportunity to be able to improve his football team.
Next,
for the YouTube chat, apparently they didn't hear Jordan. So yes, Jordan does think a trade will be made. Possibly that's what he's hearing for a mid-level receiver. The big people out there being mentioned, although Jordan didn't mention it, I am Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, just to name some people.
Calvin Ridley.
Jacoby Myers not happening because that's just the rest of this year.
Well, that could be a rental that they're getting rid of. But like I said, I like Calvin Ridley because you still got him for a couple of years. He's been through a lot. He's still a good route runner. A couple of years ago when he was in Jacksonville, he proved that he still had all the chops and the juice to be a top end receiver. Anytime you come in and they get rid of Julio Jones because they believe in you,
you've obviously got some ability.
All right, so I saw this one on the page, and it instantly struck my attention this morning. Cam Scattaboo, Jaxson Dart, they have like a nice connection. They're good friends, and they headbutt, apparently. So where did that all start, Cam? Because I really want to know that.
Yeah, I mean, just craziness. Just me and him being crazy, being friends. It's just something like, he has to throw the ball with his right hand, and I have a little, sometimes from stiff arm, my right hand will bother me or be bruised up. So I'm like, we just start headbutting. It's just something that you naturally do when you have a helmet on.
No, it's not.
No.
Listen, I never played anybody at any of these levels. I played PAL. I never had the desire to headbutt anybody.
I mean, I definitely can envision Scattaboo and Dart in Revenge of the Nerds 5, and they would be the fraternity.
Yeah.
And they just seem like two. Yes. They just seem like two frat guys just out there just having fun, man. In the intramural league.
Oh, man. Jaxson Dart is Ted McGinley. Love it.
Oh, boy. And speaking of Jaxson Dart, if you didn't hear it earlier when we had Canty on, Jonathan Cooper of the Denver Broncos, well, let's just say he knows about Jaxson Dart, and sounds like the league is starting to know about him, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's, feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something, But we've went against QBs who have ran around in the pocket and have tried to do stuff with their legs. So ain't nothing we haven't seen.
Let me ask you something. Are they already accepting of the personal foul penalty this weekend? Denver? They are, all right, we'll take a flag. We're going to get one in on them.
Sometimes it's worth the cost of business. You know what I'm saying? Send a message.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the territory, how deep you are. You don't want to do nothing where it can put points on the board. But you definitely going to go ahead when you get them. Let them know that this going to hurt a little bit. This is different.
And now we go to the other team in New York. That happens to be the New York Jets. Yeah. Take a deep breath. I know. Sigh. It's not good.
Okay.
All right. Well, we had Jordan Renan on.
Let me gird up my loins.
All right. So Jordan Renan, he was on with DNR this morning. So was Rich Cimini, our Jets reporter for ESPN. He was asked if Justin Fields is in any sort of danger of losing his job soon.
Well, for last week, I don't even think he basically said it was not a consideration during the game. I don't know why. I think a spark would have helped him there. I mean, if you're going to play that kind of offense, which is just a straight drop-back offense, they haven't even been using Justin Fields outside the pocket that much in the last couple of games. So if you're going to play a straight drop-back offense, you might as well put Tyrod Taylor in. He runs that kind of offense better than Fields. It wasn't a thought. He said he doesn't want to create a scenario where Fields is always looking over his shoulder. I don't agree with that take. I mean, these are NFL players. I mean, basically, you're always looking over your shoulder in the NFL. You know, that job security is not a big thing in the NFL. Could we see it this week? Hey, look, if he has a first half like he did in Denver, I think everything is on the table.
It should be. I don't understand at year 4. It's one thing if you want to say that about a quarterback who is in year 1 and you don't want him looking over their shoulder. You want him to go out there and just, try to make plays and all that. We're in year 4 here, and you're 0-6, and you've got the rest of this team that you have to answer to as well. And if you go out there and you have another half like that, how do you even remotely justify playing him beyond that?
You can't. Because you're going to lose your locker room eventually if they know that Tyrod gives you a better chance to win. They have to make sure that they say, listen, we're still competitively trying to win. Like, we're not playing for draft position or anything like that. We're actively being aggressive and thinking that, hey, man, let's just take one game at a time. And you can't be worried about nobody's feelings. At this point, like, you're hurting Garrett Wilson feelings, Breece Hall feelings. If this guy's not giving you the best chance to win, Tyrod Taylor gets to go in there. And I think they're a game or two from kind of making it permanent. Like, we'll give him 2 more games. Because you hear Aaron Glenn, this is the first time he's truly had a bad game. No, it's not.
Come on.
We've seen a lot of garbage yards and a lot of times, stat padding. So
I know that we want to protect him, but it's a little bit much when we're talking about to this degree. You're a professional at some point, and you have to play better.
Correct.
Next.
I got one more for you, and this one might sting a little for Chris Carlin because I'm going to reminisce on last night a little bit more, because I can see Chris's face right now.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, Chris's favorite quarterback that he fell in love with for 5 minutes. It was like a Vegas wedding that he and Aaron Rodgers had. Chris started to fall in love with him, got on the train, and then it ended in a quick...
They speed dated.
Exactly, and it ended up in a quick divorce after last night's game, unfortunately. Aaron Rodgers was asked after last night's game, how do you prevent the season from going off on like a roller coaster ride?
Well, I think you got to realize, listen, we want to win every game. There needs to be an expectation of winning, but this is a short week, division opponent, anything can happen. Obviously, Joe played really well for them, and Chase and T got going for him. But this is the NFL. We had a chance to really open up some space, but we're 4-2, still first in the division. Got a couple home games coming up, back-to-back, another Sunday night opportunity against my former team. So I'm not going to ride the roller coaster, and I know Mike isn't, and hopefully you guys follow suit.
It's not riding the roller coaster, okay? Last night, on the first 2 drives of that game, and the first 2 drives for Cincinnati before they scored, that looked like it was going to be a blowout. That looked like Pittsburgh was going to win that game 34-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they're going down the field on you without blinking. Now, we can talk about Rodgers all you want, okay? He obviously has been an upgrade for them at quarterback this year, and I wanted them to keep him here. I wanted the Jets to keep him here for this season. The problem is when you are allowing 10 yards a carry to whoever it was last night. Who was it who was running for the Bengals?
Brown.
Hey, Chase Brown, and I know he's a good player, but 10 yards a carry was like 11 carries for 106 yards.
Correct.
What the hell are we doing?
I mean,
you cannot stop anybody.
They were so spooked.
15 catches. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. 15 catches? Come on.
I mean, listen, Baltimore knows him well because he put up 227 on Baltimore a couple times.
And Jalen Ramsey on him quite a bit. Smoked like a sturgeon.
And then it was like, big play Slay. Like, listen, this would have been
given up a big play.
These would have been great matchups 5 years ago. Like when Jamar Chase was in high school. Like at this point, these are listen. The Steelers are trying to win with the oldest roster in football. I mean, Cam Hayward is like
that never works.
36. I'm surprised ain't nobody went on IL or some short-term IL just from old age and Ben Gay problems.
But that never works.
Yeah.
The oldest roster thing never works because you might get off to a good start. You watch. They're going to win 8 games, and that's going to be it.
Jalen Ramsey's feet going to start hurting.
It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. If you are not following us on the social channels, so that's on YouTube. If that's on you should be following us on YouTube, on ESPN New York's YouTube page where you can watch the show all day. And you can also catch it, on our podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. If I could spit this out on Spotify, on, wherever you want.
All that stuff.
Apple Music.
Everywhere.
Everywhere you get it.
Everywhere in the world, Craig.
Everywhere. And also, at Bart and Carlin on Instagram.
That too.
Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time, 6 p.m. ALCS Game 5 in Seattle. Mariners hosting the Blue Jays. NLCS Game 4 L.A. It's over. Dodgers hosting the Brewers. Both games can be heard right here on ESPN New York. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Bart and Carlin, we still have a lot of football to come your way, including picks in just a little bit, and why last night was really problematic for the Jets above all else. We'll explain next.
NFL Sunday's coming. You got your crew, your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop, and now we're making it even better because this week FanDuel is bringing the bonus. That's right. Now all customers get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play a game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/Rick to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. Now all customers get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions do apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Honey, this is it. Shot clock winding down. Trailing by 2.
When you can't miss the last shot, and neither can he, don't take slow for an answer.
Pastrello shoots. Did you see it, Carl?
Switch to Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at just $40 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today.
What went through your head on the last shot? It all happened so fast.
Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Knicks fans, opening night is about to pass away. Join ESPN New York's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from 3 to 6:30 p.m. from Stout on West 33rd between 6th and 7th. Steps from the Garden. Get ready for the start of Knicks basketball.
Runs it off the dribble. He got it and one.
Special guests include Monica McNutt, Pat O'Keefe, and more. We'll see you at Stout on West 33rd. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from the Knicks home opener. Don't just listen, don't just watch. Be there.
All right, let's hit it, 800-919-3776. David and Elizabeth has been patient today. He's up on ESPN New York. What's up, Dave?
What up, fellas? How you guys doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. So basically what I'm trying to look for from these guys is for them to get it together. Like, this weekend, I don't know if we could pull out a win or not, but just be competitive. Just do the right things. Just, be on your assignment. Do your job. That's just basically it. Like, it looks like the defense, I'm not going to say they got it together, but they played an okay game against the Broncos, but I don't know.
Are you ready?
Damn, the bar is low.
Are you ready to say that the defense has gotten it together? Bart.
I believe the communication stuff has worked out now. That always can be changed by the game plan of the team that you're playing for the week and what they have. Now, they got McMillan, they got Downs, Rico. Well, Rico Suave is what I call him. You know what I mean? He's been running the ball very well. But I tell you what, the young rookie last week from Miami played at a very, very high level. So he's starting to get more comfortable. He could be maybe one of these diamonds in the rough. But, anytime we can get, Jermaine Johnson out there setting the edge, he'll only going to get stronger. His reps are only going to go up more. I think he may not be the best player. I mean, he's one of the best, but he's the most important because he creates balance.
Definitely. Hey, I just want to say this real quick. Look, not for nothing. In my opinion, I think Tanner Armstrong is doing a pretty decent job. This guy just keeps burping the baby too much, and you can't see that he's calling decent plays. But if they were to play in Justin Fields' strengths, he should be able to have a decent game. Like, I don't know why he can't replicate what he did in week 1. Like, that's scratching my head. Like, you did that one week, and every other week you've been doing garbage.
You want to know why? Because everybody else is not so bullheaded like the Steelers are to play man-to-man every time. That's like the dumbest thing to play against Justin Fields because you have nobody for the quarterback. And if you put one person for the quarterback, that's not enough. So you notice that Steelers got taken advantage of by Joe Flacco in a totally different way. And we talked about, like, why would you play 75% of your snaps in cover one when Flacco is you can't keep up with the receivers. So we just saw the same thing. The Steelers are going to be bullheaded and stubborn. So that's why he looks so good.
Joe's and Elizabeth next. ESPN New York. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call once again. I just want to get your thoughts again on both the Jets and the Giants. So I already know your mentality regarding it, and a lot of other experts are saying that the Giants shouldn't go out to get a receiver, possibly hemorrhaging themselves in the future. So, I mean, they brought little Jordan Humphrey from the practice squad. He looked really good last Thursday against the Eagles. So how do you feel about Juice Wells? Because I know they signed him back to the practice squad, and he has a report with Jaxson Dart from OPS.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not expecting when we're talking about practice squad guys, I'm not expecting him to come in if they actually do elevate him with where they are at receiver to make a big impact right away. I'm not. It's a guy off the practice squad that I'm trying to fill a roster spot with and trying to hope that he can play special teams.
Right, and you can hope that he can develop and be ready in a couple of weeks. Not too many people get signed from away and come in and eat up a roster spot because you got to get back acclimated with, the plays, the verbiage, and all that type of stuff. I can't see that either. Usually nobody comes in. Like Leonard Taylor got picked up by the Patriots. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, I don't expect him to play for a while either. You just kind of get them ready and see what they can do.
Lil Jordan Humphrey has been in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least 5-6 years now at this point. It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, coming up on noon.
D'Agostino, law, bite back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just any tee, the band tee. You wore it everywhere until your best friend stole it. Now you're on eBay, and there it is. Same tee from the same tour. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. Where else can you find that mint trading card you searched everywhere for, or your first car, the one you wish you never sold? It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Noon o'clock, Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. It is Bart Scott, Chris Carlin. Lots of football to get to this hour, but first, it's noon, so it is what?
It's the Power Hour. Presented by nobody.
Thanks. That makes us feel good. We're open for business. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. A reminder for everybody that is still in the mix in the ESPN New York Survivor. Make your pick before Sunday's 1 o'clock games to stay in the running for that $5,000 grand prize. After 6 weeks, 83% of the pool out. After 6 weeks, only Canty, Evan Cohen, Jake Asman, the surviving ESPN personalities. Follow along on the ESPN New York app, powered by SplashSports.com. So let's get to the football. We did a lot of it with Canty last hour, but there are a few different topics I want to hit on here. And number one is kind of what we were doing yesterday, how last night and what happened between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati really speaks even worse to what's going on with the Jets. Now, I've talked to a couple of Jet fans over the last 24 to 48 hours. And yesterday, we spent time discussing the Aaron Rodgers road and what would have happened, where the Jets would be right now if they had continued to go down that road. Last night, you see him throw 4 touchdowns again. He did throw 2 interceptions as well, but he still played much better than whatever they had last year, whether it was Russell Wilson or Justin Fields at quarterback. So it does beg the question, would things have been markedly better? And talking to Jet fans this morning, there are people that are just annoyed and angry, not just because Rodgers plays well, but also because you look at the overall parity in the league right now and the fact that the Giants this week actually have a chance to kind of climb back into it, and you are nowhere to be found. You are at the bottom of the pile right now, still sitting on that 0 in the win column.
You're asking yourself, hey, could Joe Flacco have did something with this offensive line protecting him? It's like, come on. It's like, man, do we have the 40th best starting quarterback in the league?
It's probably something in that range.
Because let's say you go from 1 to 31, and then you add in Marcus Mariota.
Yep.
You add in Mac Jones. You add in Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones would be 1 to 31.
Okay, you add in Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Maybe J.J. McCarthy, depending on which one you want to go with.
This is getting uglier by the minute.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You can go to a couple of
Dylan Gabriel.
Right. Dylan Gabriel, Cooper Rush. And he's played horrible.
Yeah.
But you may have the 40th best quarterback.
Russ and Jameis?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Kind of have to make that point. And so if that's the point, it leaves you even more aggravated.
Mitchell Trubisky, because he's come in and he's been a great backup for Josh Allen.
Tyrod Taylor?
Yes. That's where we at. You feel me? Like, yo, word? Is that the type of quarterback play we get in? And I know the numbers don't suggest, because his numbers are going to look good, but we know what it looks like and what it feels like. It feels like when Justin Fields are out there, the play calling has to be a certain type of play calling. It feels like you.
Well, it doesn't. It feels like that because it has to be.
Right. You feel like
it does.
You feel like Estran isn't calling his offense.
Listen, I don't know whether it's his offense or not. I'm not going to get involved in that, because if Engstrand is calling the offense that Justin Fields is going to be most comfortable with or have the best chance to be successful with, then I can't argue about it. Yeah. I don't have a problem with it, because he's not trying to force feed something.
Yeah.
If he was trying to force feed something, people would have an argument against Engstrand. But this isn't about Engstrand. You notice that? People are not screaming and yelling about the offensive coordinator in the least.
Not at all.
I haven't heard boo about the Jet play calling all season long, other than the fact that people are calling for screenplays the other day, even though they tried a couple, and maybe some quarterback draws or some designed runs for Fields, which they have not done. So what exactly am I expecting that would have been better other than having a different quarterback? Like, I can't point to anything else, and I would be really annoyed. I'd be really annoyed that if I woke up today and the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Flacco are 3-4. I'd be really annoyed by the fact that I am sitting here at 0-6. There is no true dominant teams in the league right now, and nobody, I mean, I asked Canty this earlier, nobody would point to any team and say that team is definitively the best in the league, and they're going to get it done. You look at the Bucs, you might have the most confidence in them, but you wouldn't sit there and say that's definitively the best team in the league.
Well, that can change with all the injuries they have when they got the Lions this week. So you can say the Lions after that. You can say Kansas City. But, yeah, like you said, it's no like, oh, definite for sure. We're projecting based on past knowledge of what Rashid Rice, we think Rashid Rice would mean to Patrick Mahomes, and, you know, what we think that, you know, getting Godwin and Evans and Buka back, what that would mean. But then you can make an argument that, hey, man, you can see Seattle beating anybody on any given Sunday. You can look at maybe the Colts beating somebody on any given Sunday, which aren't brand names anymore.
What bothers me the most about this is there would have been every opportunity to at least keep things interesting. And nothing has been interesting in years, and that's the problem. And I want this to work for Aaron Glenn. I do want to hear a little bit of this from Peter Schrager this morning on Unsportsmanlike. You were also with him over on Get Up.
Yep.
Here is Schrager talking about the Jets' situation and job security.
I believe they hired Aaron Glenn with a long-term plan. The fact that even the messaging coming out of camp was, look at what Detroit did. They started off slow and they turned it around when they hired Dan Campbell, and that's where we all come from, Glenn and Erkstrand and all those guys who came in from Detroit. Trust me, they don't want to fire him after 1 year, and I think a lot of people in that building would feel much better if we can get a couple W's here for the Jets before Thanksgiving.
Now, look, two things. Number one, that was not out of camp that we were talking about the slow burn and the Lions and 0-10 or whatever. We were not talking about that out of camp. That started to creep up at 0-3. That's when that started to come around, because that was never the discussion.
Yeah.
Never. That was starting to put excuses in place.
And then you had us sitting up here trying to figure out what was the Jets' longest start, or what's the farthest we ever went. Like, whenever you at that point, and we ain't even went trick-or-treating yet, man, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And Aaron Glenn is going to start feeling that pressure more and more until he gets that victory. And even if you get one, it's like you'll be the first team with one. Will you be the only team stuck with one, or will other teams get two?
Yep. I don't expect that Aaron Glenn's getting fired. I don't think it's going to get to the point where the Jets.
Steve Wilks can get fired.
Oh, absolutely, Steve Wilks can get fired.
They'll fire somebody. Somebody going to take that.
Has the defense in your mind, with what you said, you talked about having to do the breakdown earlier this week with the Jets digital folks.
Yeah.
Has the defensive communication, the Jermaine Johnson factor.
It's one game.
It's one game. Do you feel like it's back, though?
It's one game. Who knows if it's back to where Salah was there and they were a very, very top 5 type of defense. I don't think it's there because it's hard to gauge, because the Broncos don't score points. The Broncos are a team that plays great defense, play action pass, run the ball, boots, waggles, throwbacks, play action pass, stuff like that. But they're not a team that's going to really put the stress on a defense to see if they're back. They're not going to have the challenging type of formations and route combinations to challenge that. The Bengals will, especially if they can run the ball like they did against the Steelers. We know that it's going to pose a lot of tough things. We thought that maybe the Steelers going against Brandon Stevens would be something. Well, trust me, nobody knows Brandon Stevens better than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So that's going to be like something as well. So I don't know if they're back or if they just went against an opponent that really didn't have a lot to be able to really see if the Jets were back or not. I mean, remember, Denver traveled basically 3 time zones, right? They
more than that.
Yeah, 3 time zones with Central, Western, Mountain Time.
And they're
Central,
on Mountain Time,
East.
And then they have to go over the 5 time zones
Right.
that the Jets do to go to London.
Yeah.
So 8 altogether.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they looked at, I remember, after the game talking to Jim Leonard, he's like, we just had, man, we just happy to be out of here because they had been on the East Coast playing Philly the week before.
Right.
So I don't know if I can say the Jets are back because they shut down that unit.
Now, that brings me to the Giants, and I'm glad you helped me make that transition. Very smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Bart and Carlin
Handoff.
on ESPN New York. We'll get to calls in a few moments. Lines are open at 800-919-3776 on all of the football, whatever you want. We open it up. You know, the guys in the morning, they do their football frenzy, and that's nice. That's fine. We'll kind of do something similar, only better than they do. 800-919-3776. Denver going back home now. The Giants going out there. This
It's not an easy place to play.
It is not. That's why this is the most educational game of the year for the Giants. And perhaps, like I heard, again, Schrager overplayed it a little bit when he talked about how excited everybody was in New York about Scatterboo and about Dart. We're excited, but, you know, it's not palpable, you know? So, but that being the case, when you go out to Denver this week, and the Broncos have been as good as they have been defensively, and they have the players that they do. Outside of the 9 sacks, we know what played a role there. The Broncos going home with the Giants coming in. Giants have these 2 wins that are among the best wins in the league so far this year. And now Jaxson Dart gets a chance against a really, really good defense. Bart, I think this is the most educational game that you're going to have regarding the Giants because you get a sense of who they actually are and what Dart could possibly be. Now, I didn't get caught up in Daniel Jones in year 1. He had a 5-touchdown game against Washington. That was great for him. Awesome. It obviously did not mean that he was going to turn into a superstar quarterback right away. I think this week we learned a lot about Dart. I think we learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not even just if he goes and balls out. If he just goes out there and hangs in there and has them in it late because of him, that's going to go a long way with me.
Yeah, see how he competes. Like you said, it's not about the result for us. We just want to see what it looks like. And that's really what we're talking about. We want to see what it looks like. And if he comes out and, well, we think that, you know, as I'm looking at highlights of Joe Cool, I can remember him coming in as a rookie and us not putting it all on his plate, but it was just nothing seemed to rattle him. And so far, I mean, you got Jaxson Dart, who's made his debut against a team that people thought was a Super Bowl contender and a Super Bowl front runner, and he got it done. That first drive told me everything I needed to know about Jaxson Dart, that he doesn't panic or he's not like the deer in headlights when the moment is too big. No, that he competes. And that's what you want. You want to see a competitor, somebody who competes. And that's what you get when you look at him.
I also don't want to see him get his clock cleaned. I hear this from Jonathan Cooper, in case you didn't hear this from the Denver side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's, feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something, But we've went against QBs who have ran around in the pocket and have tried to do stuff with their legs. So ain't nothing we haven't seen.
That's like somebody that really wants to get his shot in this week. Really wants to get his chance. Now, I remind you that the Broncos having 9 sacks, yes, a lot of it was because Fields held the ball too long. The Broncos had 63 sacks last year, and they already had 21 going into last week. They're right now on a pace for 85 sacks this season. The Broncos,
they will
cool off.
Great help for the Jets giving them sacks on 30% of their plays.
They will cool off. But my point is they could break their own record, certainly, from last year.
Yeah, that's true.
They are that good of a team. And for those who don't know Nick Benino, you're going to know him quick because you saw him last week.
Got paid in the offseason. Cooper is a great – you talk about, the pairing. I wouldn't call them the top pairing because I think Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, you got a couple pairs up there that's really, really good, but they're top 5 for sure.
And you throw in Zach Allen, too, on the defensive line. That is a really good defensive team that gets after the quarterback.
And can I make the Jet fans cry a little bit?
Yeah.
And John Franklin Myers.
Yeah. It's always something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 6 degrees of separation.
6 degrees of jeparation. That's pretty much what it is. Go to a successful team, and you will have less than 6 degrees from where the Jets are, and it will either be a former Jet or somebody who was closely affiliated with the Jets at one point or another. Point being, for the Giants, if you go out there, here's point 2. You go out there, you win this game, we have to take you seriously. Because then you start to look around the conference, and you certainly start to look around the division.
You're going to be one back of somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Cowboys or the Commanders, one of them to get taken an L for sure.
I'll point to the Bengals, guys. They're a bad team, I know. Their point differential is minus 77, something like in that range.
Yeah.
They're 3-4. Point differential doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
You're 3-4. The Giants come out of this week at 3-4. This is a whole new ball game. And Bart, dare I say, we would have an actual football season? I mean, we'd actually be like you said to Schrager this morning when he held up the Scatterboo Dart T-shirt for mayor in New York City, the mayoral candidates or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Hey, and there's only one thing keeping our show alive right now, and that's those two guys.
I wouldn't have bought a Jordan Clarkson jersey.
800-919-3776. Javi, Queens is up on ESPN New York. Javi, what's going on?
What's up, fellas? Taking the call. Shout out to the animals in the chat. Bart, before I ask you a Jets question, Carlin, in the chat, I thought somebody brought up an excellent point.
That's on the YouTube chat, by the way. If you're not watching, you can go over and check out the show on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Go.
Yes, it's excellent. You ever think of going to a soul food spot? I feel like you would not turn down a smothered pork chop, but so far, it's...
I have.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Bart, we got some spots for...
No, listen, I've got a lot of places on the list, and I definitely will.
I don't want to send them to Sylvia's because it's not the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Melba's is good.
Yeah.
I this week I don't have one, admittedly. There's no Carlin's Corner table this week because I just have not had the time this week to go out and get it done. But absolutely, I would go to a soul food place, no question.
Some mac and cheese, some smothered pork chops and gravy on rice, some green, collard
I was telling
green.
the chat, but I could see Carlin coming into the soul food spot, giving out proper pounds. Like, I think Carlin is down like that. I don't know if Bart agrees, but I think Carlin handles his own
of course,
in
man.
the neighborhood.
Get him some of that fried chicken, baked chicken. Shoot, give him some of them barbecue ribs, sweet potato yams. Give him not pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie.
Smothered everything for Carlin. So listen,
that's right.
with the Jets, I'm going on Sunday. Man, I'd rather talk about food than the Jets, but Bart, I'm going to the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
I feel with Wilson out, I'm having a tough time
finding
some kind of a glimmer of hope.
Would you just
Bart, you're pretty good at this. What is the tiny little bit of hope for the Jets this Sunday, or are they going 0-7?
I do you think, Bart?
I
think because the defense can shut down a team that plays in warm weather, a team that hasn't won on the road, a team that really relies on the energy of the crowd, I think they can be able to get it done that way. I think it's got to be a defensive-led type of thing in Breece Hall. The thing is, the Panthers know that. You know what I mean? The Panthers know that. So, I think that they have to do a better job in trying to manufacture big plays. We'll see. I mean, if I'm the Jets, I come out like Army and Navy. You know what I'm saying? Come out like Army and Navy, man. Wing straight T. Wing T. Like I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny.
You're guessing who has the ball?
But I would do exactly what the Atlanta Falcons did. I would put Breece Hall at slot receiver and send him on these Ricky Williams jet sweeps and put Isaiah Davis in the backfield and have like a form of the triple option hashtag Wildcat type of stuff, and then have. I mean, like I said before earlier in the week, the only reason that the Wildcat wasn't sustainable is because Ronnie Brown wasn't a quarterback and couldn't throw the football. So we would basically put everybody up in the box and really ignore the fact that it was a possibility of pass. I would go straight Wildcat with the jet sweep, with all the power runs and the keeps and stuff like that with him to see if that confuses everybody and get big plays that way. And I'm not even trying to be funny.
Fullback dive on one. Fullback dive.
You just watched Penix do it with Bijan Robinson. We just watched them do that, and dominate.
You know, I have to say, there have been teams that have been kind of running a couple of option plays here and there to the outside.
Yes.
It's not like it's not happening.
It's with this fake jet sweep. You talk about McVay used to do it all the time with Todd Gurley. But when you have when two of your best players are your two running backs, then you do that.
Who ran the double option last week where it was the handoff and then the pitch?
Yep. That was Kansas City. I think they got Baltimore like that.
Yeah, I think so.
They sent him in motion. They
conversion.
gave it to him. Yeah, and they went out and he pitched it.
Yeah.
Had the receiver in the backfield.
Let's hit Griffin in Connecticut up next on ESPN New York. Griffin, what's up, buddy?
Where you been, Griff?
Hey.
Guys. You been crying with Tom?
No.
Okay.
First off, Carlin, I listened to the Michigan and USC game. You did a phenomenal job on the radio calling that game. So
I appreciate that,
I just wanted
Griffin.
to give you your flowers on that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was a fun game.
I have an NFL question. This year's so crazy, wide open. There's nothing. You have no clue what teams are what and who's there. I hear everybody in the NFC talk about the Bucs and talk about the Eagles and talk about the 49ers and the Packers and the Lions. I think people need to start talking about, I think the best team in the division in the AFC West is the Rams. I think Matthew Stafford and the Rams should start being talked about more. I think they're a threat to make the Super Bowl. They got a really good defense. Matthew Stafford's playing really good football, and I think we're sleeping on the Rams.
I think that's
fair.
Really
think we are.
There were a lot of people at the beginning of the year who liked the Rams a lot, including Bart.
Griff, I said they were my front runner. Like they got some injuries a little bit now with Puka Nacua, but they're fine. They have a tremendous defense.
I love how you sometimes will act as if, I can't believe you never heard me say this.
Right.
I've been saying it every 5 minutes for the last 6 months.
Yeah, and I got off of it because we weren't talking about it. But
well,
yeah.
But no, listen, Griffin, you're not wrong. They are not getting talked about as much at the moment, and they should be, because, look, Stafford's playing extremely well. I think my biggest issue with them all year has been the fact that I'm wondering what Stafford's going to look like later in the year from a health standpoint, because he's going to be taking these hits all season long. Oh, he's gone. My bad. My bad. I didn't look up. Let's hit Carlos, Long Island. Los, what's up, baby? You're on ESPN.
Yo.
What do you got?
Hey, guys. Hey, I appreciate you taking the call, first of all. You guys are great. But this question is really for Bart, because, Bart, you mad respect, although I'm a big Steelers fan, I have mad respect for the way you played the game. You were awesome. And I was watching last night, like everybody, and you're just scratching your head like, what do you do to stop Chase, slow him down, get to Flacco? Like, as a defensive player that you were, like, what do you do? Like, how does Tomlin not adjust? How does the defensive coach not adjust? And who's to blame? Or are they just too old? Like you said, Carlin, they're an old defense, and maybe the short week really caught them with the pants down.
I don't even think it's old defense. I think it's old and not good. The whole thing about Jalen Ramsey, man.
They did make the adjustment. You know what their adjustment was? Okay, Ramsey, you get him. Nope, they ain't work. Joey Porter, you get him. Nope, they ain't work. Hey, big play Slay, you go get him. Nope, they ain't work. That's what it was. They thought that they could figure out the right combination of being able to bracket them. Like Flacco said, he was waiting for that double bracket all week. And when they saw them double bracket and the safety came down and came low and short on Chase, he hit him over the top.
Chase is, to me, if I had to pick a receiver to start my team with right now, Chase would be the guy that I would pick. I would pick him over Jefferson. I would pick him over anybody else in the league. That's how good I think Chase is. Tessa's back. Wes Caldwell. What's up, Tessa?
Hey, guys. How are you? I appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call. So I just had a quick question. Carlin, you remember last week what I said, and I meant it when I said, we were on the outside as the Giants. We were on the outside of the dumpster looking in, which is a great place to be because we've been in trash, we feel like, for the past decade. So now I don't want to get overly excited, but I am excited. And I really feel like this could be a trap game for us on Sunday. So, Bart, I want to know, when you played is it a good idea to maybe to start walking around up there to get used to that altitude? Like, I am afraid people are going to be throwing up. They're going to be dizzy and just passing out, like, because they just don't know. Some of them don't know what it is. Like Dart and Cam Scatterbull, like, yeah, bust your head if you want to up there. You're done. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, you know what I mean? So maybe y'all shouldn't be hitting heads. So I'm very nervous about that, like the altitude, and I'm scared. Like, I'm really nervous about Sunday because I think it could be a trap game, and not because they're going to outplay us, because I think that climate and
you don't think they can outplay
everything
you?
About playing there.
You don't think Denver can outplay them from a defensive standpoint, be dominant? Like, they have
No,
better
I
unit.
didn't say that. I think we can roll with them. I think we can stick. If our defense do what our defense is showing that they are capable of doing, I think we can hang with them. That's what I'm saying. I definitely think we can hang with them, because eventually somebody's going to get tired. Like, let's just say, like, if we're scoring pretty good, you know, I think that's what it could come down to if we play right. Which defense is going to get tired? That's what I'm saying. And I would take our front four over Denver's, but I know they got shut down corners and stuff.
They got 30,
I'm just wondering.
They got 30 sacks in their front, so I don't know. Like, right now, that's the best defense.
They're amazing.
No, so
they're amazing, but you know, like right now, I'm very confident. Not saying like, "Oh, we're the best." I'm just confident. We're showing, you know, glimmers of what we could be. So I'm not going to just automatically. You know, of course, Monday I'll call and say we was trash. You know me, I'm very transparent.
Yeah, I think.
But I'm just saying, I'm excited right now, but I'm nervous.
I think the defense can keep them in the game. I mean, I think that their offense isn't somebody that's going to blow you away. Like I said, they're only getting 20, 21 points a game. But when you talk about
Bo Nix did not look great last week.
When you talk about traveling and what that means and altitude sickness, it's two thoughts. Either you go there on Saturday and you play on Sunday and you get out of there, or you go in there earlier and it takes like 72 hours for you to get used to the altitude and getting through the sickness. Because sometimes you can get a headache, you can get nauseous, you can feel dehydrated. And what it is the air is super thin up there too. So when you get out there and you get hyped, like Scatterbull can get, or you get up there and you get hyped, sometimes like Dart gets, sometimes you can get the air is thin, so you can't catch your breath.
Yeah, you get winded a lot quicker.
Right. Yeah, I had a teammate that faked the injury because we thought he was hurt and he couldn't breathe. And then, like, he faked the injury. And we're in 2 minutes. We're like, bro, we can't afford to take a timeout. We're in 2 minutes. He just couldn't breathe. He was our center, too. So it's like, yo, bro. Then he come running back on the field like, we thought you was hurt. Like, nah, I just couldn't breathe. Man, if you don't get your ass, like, yeah. And also about Denver, you really have to figure out your footing, because, like, it's like an oily grass, right? It's like weird. It's long. It's almost like when you see people playing in London and they playing in Wembley. Yeah. Like, when you slip, it's like a long, brown, dark soil type of thing, because the grass grow different up there too, man. Like, it's weird. Things boil at different. Like, if you go to Denver, it's different cooking. It's different cooking directions, because it takes longer for water to boil. It can be, and they're gonna remind you too. They're gonna remind you exactly how high you are. They're gonna have that altitude clock right there when you walk out. Like, yeah, buddy. And you used to see it a lot of time in basketball, but you know, Denver's gonna be adjusted to it. That's where they live, so they're fine.
But they might be adjusted to it. That's fine. But you're also coming all the way back from England. Yeah, maybe the Jets giving up 9 sacks tired them out.
Yeah, they all 54 plays they had to play the week before.
Yeah, exactly.
All 54 of them.
Yeah, I should say the Jets did get them their defense plenty of rest. That's for sure. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app, on YouTube as well. Go to the chat, watch the show, leave your comments on YouTube. You get to see the whole thing right there on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Next, we go sideline to sideline in the NFL for Week 7 on Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
Friday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. Can the Giants find a way to pull off another upset?
The locker room just has a slightly different feel. We're seeing a different product on the field as a result. And just the way they play, the way they act, the way they operate, like, it has injected life into this team.
Will the Jets get their first win of the season? Don Hahn and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
NFL Sunday's coming. You got your crew, you got your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop. And now we're making it even better, because this week FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. This week, FanDuel's bringing the bonus. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Option required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York app. Football picks coming up in just a few. Right now, though, a little sideline to sideline.
It's going to happen.
This is Sideline to Sideline. Go. With Bart and Carlin.
Tom Bauer is here, and he has got Sideline to Sideline. Let's go!
Oh, I sure do. And there's a little chatter that we've heard plenty of throughout the show between the Giants and the Broncos on social media. And, of course, when you're at the media scrum, they're going to ask the head coach about that. And Brian Daboll had some comments about said battles on social media.
Yeah, like I said, right, I think the biggest thing is going out there and playing well on Sunday and doing the things you need to do during the week to be ready to play a game against a very challenging, like I've talked about on Wednesday, good football team. That's really the most important thing.
Great, so you get nothing from that. But at least we got another question. Let's see if we get something here. On Denver being dismissive of the New York Giants.
Yeah, I just say this. That's a really good football team. None of that really matters. What matters is how you perform during the week and how you play on Sunday, Pat, as you know. Again, we're in a competitive industry, an emotional industry, but the most important thing is doing your job leading up to Sunday, and then ultimately going out there and playing well on Sunday, making tackles, taking care of the football, communicating well in a loud environment, being productive on early downs, trying to stay out of third and long, trying to get them into third and long, playing good on special teams, tackling Mims. Those are the things that matter.
He better be using every Jedi mind trick. He's saying that in front of the crowd. He better be saying, they don't respect you. You better go out there straight Hoosiers.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out there, have Scatterboo mark out how wide the field is.
Exactly.
He'll be like, oh, Coach, I got 49. You dummy, it's 53. Never mind. That's not what I meant.
Look, if he keeps going, we can't turn the football over and we can't do that. Oh, God, I get it. I don't need all the platitudes. I understand. But I'm sure he's using it all as motivation. Can I ask a question? How much do you really need your coach to supply motivation when you're in the league? Do you need that night before motivational speech or the minutes before motivational speech?
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt for your coach to put you in a certain mindset.
Okay.
Based on the disrespect, based on the media. See, athletes are creatures that have created, like, I can remember, I create, even when everybody was complimentary of me, I always created a person that I didn't know that hated me.
You're like Michael, you're Jordan in that regard. You always had to find somebody.
Like, bro, I just said you had less yards last year. So you said I'm losing a step. Like, no, man. I'm just saying, like, then you just say, man, never mind, man. Like, but yeah, athletes always they feed off of that because ever since we were kids, we were told that we couldn't get to where we're at. Like, I want to be an NFL player. Well, good luck.
All right, so they're going to feed off insecurity.
Exactly. Athletes are some of the most insecure people in the world.
That's true.
And vain as hell.
Next.
So I'm just going to take a straw poll of you guys before I proceed with this next one. I have 2 Aaron Glenn clips in front of me. One of them is called Goal for This Week. Do we even need to hear it?
Just for the hell of it, why not?
Listen, let's predict what it says before he plays it.
Okay.
What do you think it says?
Improve a little bit. Play better, cleaner football. Not make mistakes. Not turn the football over.
That is exactly what I would say.
Well, survey says
the focus of this week is winning this game, hands down, point blank, but also making sure that we improve, because there's no way to consistently win without improving. So the guys have done a good job of that. We know we have a lot of work to do. We're not running away from where we are, but again, we're looking to improve. Even today, we're going out there for this red zone practice and improve. So
improve incrementally day to day.
You nailed it.
I would love to hear somebody say, we played like complete crap. I would like to see us improve 410% from last week. Yeah. And we'll be better.
Everything that we've done before this, we need to throw it out.
Yeah, we need
to do something totally different.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about being 3% better than last week.
When everybody else getting 50% better.
Exactly.
If only John Tortorella were their coach, he would be more blunt.
We suck.
Next.
All right, so let's get into some actual around the league news going on right now. We'll start with some trade rumors that are going down in New Orleans. So Alvin Kamara pretty much shot down any sort of trade rumor that could be thrown his way because he said he wants to remain in New Orleans for the rest of his career.
Why?
He pretty much, well, I'll tell you exactly what he said right now. He said if Mickey Loomis were to come in the room and say, hey, we're trading you, Kamara said he would, let's see. He says, I would go, wow, I can't speak right now. I'm going to go drink a pina colada somewhere. That was Alvin Kamara's
In other words, he's saying he'd retire immediately if he got traded?
He could be implying that, but I think he's just trying to say, yeah, okay, that's not happening.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, good luck with retiring and giving that money up. What did old boy Waller said that too.
Yeah, and he's playing in the league. And by the way, he's not playing bad.
Yeah, that album with Double Wood, he's like, man, you know what? You should bring my ass back, do what I know I can get paid for. What the hell am I thinking?
I'd play some of Darren Waller, but I'd better serve the world if we didn't do that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Chris Olave also spoke on the rumors, by the way. He acknowledged he knows about them. It's just part of the business. So just a business approach from Chris Olave. Speaking of wide receivers, there are some injury reports I should mention about this coming week. CeeDee Lamb is probable to return against the Commanders per CeeDee Lamb on Sunday. And now for some not-so-great news about wide receivers. I'll just go in order. Garrett Wilson, doubtful, according to Rich Cimini, with his knee injury. As for the Rams, Puka Nacua, out Sunday versus the Jaguars with an ankle injury. And the Commanders have an injury. Terry McLaurin, he's out on Sunday.
McLaurin officially out Sunday. Commanders got their issues. And maybe I'm not too bad, not under 8.5. Might be able to hit that number. If you had to guess, real quick, I'm just going to give them to you because I know people love me here talk about my bets. If you had to guess which of the following am I going to be okay to hit this year? Right now, I have got the Commanders under 8.5, and they are sitting on 3 wins.
They got Dallas.
That's going to be close.
Yeah, that could be right on the button because they can win 8 or they can win 10.
The Bucks over 9.5, and they're already halfway home.
Yeah, you good with the Bucks.
Saints under 3.5 wins. They've got 1. They've got 1. That's gonna be tight. That's gonna be tight. Giants under 5.5. They've got 2.
That's
Dart. I will not be rooting against the Giants for that wager.
I envy you, man.
And then the Dolphins under 6.5. I've got that one. Dolphins are not winning 7 games.
Yeah,
no chance.
It might be just twice.
Next.
I got one more for you. This coming from Micah Parsons himself. Bart, I want your thoughts on this because you were a defender at one point in your life. Micah Parsons had a lot to say about one-sided officiating that is currently going on in the NFL, and I'm just going to read you some quotes from the man himself, Micah Parsons. The refs are going to call what they call. All we can do is just hope we get called a fair game. I don't care what fans want sometimes. If your team holds, they should get better tackles, better guards. Don't blame that on us. They won't call offensive pass interference, but they'll call defensive pass interference. And one more thing I will add. This is on offensive players being allowed to get away with hitting defensive players.
Yeah.
If you're going to say it's about protecting players, then protect all players. Don't just protect one side of the ball. Like, I don't mind guys chipping from the outside, but running backs want to come and hit players while we're engaged with offensive linemen. That's complete BS. That's not good football, not safe football.
Did you see last week he got chipped so hard and he stopped. He got hit in the chest like, oh. You can break a rib that way. I've seen guys get that. And that is true. Like, you can't block somebody or cut somebody when they're engaged on the offensive side of the ball. But if, these chips and stuff like that, that's basically a blindside block because you don't see them. So you said you can't crack back. We can't peel back. Like when it's an interception, we can't decleat offensive players. We can't look up the quarterback. It seems like all the things that protect the safety, like talk about, we can't lower and hit with the crown of our helmet, but Scatterboo basically comes in like Bernadette whenever somebody comes to him.
That's where I think the big argument is too.
Yeah. He comes down and he don't give you anything to hit. He just comes with the top of his helmet like a bull. Like, with that, you got to come and hit him with the uppercut with the bicep to kind of lift him up with that European uppercut that he's having wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You come and catch him, lift his ass up. But, yeah, offense gets away with everything. And, yeah, yesterday, Jalen Ramsey got pushed like crazy by Jamar Chase on that touchdown. He pushed the hell out of him.
Cam Scatterboo, English for Dino Bravo.
Exactly. Brooklyn Brawler.
It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York. Picks are next.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine.
New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 It's good to see Tom. He's okay. 2, 3, out. Just got paid. Friday night. Party's jumping. Feel all right. Booty shaking. Dancing to the beat. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you for the Giants saving my show. I don't know if I flow. I feel good. You should too. Go ahead and do what you want to do. Let's go, Giants. Save our show. Let's go, Blue.
It does put you in a good mood. It does really put you in a good mood for a Friday.
Are they still alive? Let's find them and have them come and do a exclusive cut just for our show.
Do it live?
We got a budget?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Good call. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York app. It is time for some NFL picks. Now, Bart did not take part last week because he was across the pond.
Did your record go down or go up?
Mine barely went up.
Oh, okay.
Barely went up. I was sitting at 5-10 last week.
Okay.
And I'm now 7-11 because I went 2-1.
So do you want me to choose 2 more games than you choose?
You don't have to.
Okay.
I think we just go on winning percentage.
Winning percentage? Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
And then you last week were 6-9, but going into last week. Meaning,
I'm 6-9?
Yeah, you were bad, just like I was.
But
you were just a little bit better.
But I'm getting close to 500?
Ish. Ish.
If I was baseball, I'd be good.
Let's not get crazy here. Game 1. That will have the Giants visiting the Broncos. That game is Denver minus 7.5, and that game is at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Bart Scott, who you got?
I got to go with the Denver Broncos. Their defense is just suffocating, and I think Sean Payton at home, until the Giants show me that they can take the road on the show on the road, this is tough. This is a tough, ugly, grinded out game, which gives the Giants a chance. But I just think the Broncos are one of the upper echelon defensive units in the league, and that always plays well. At some point, Dart has to look like a rookie.
I wouldn't disagree with the thought that Dart has to look like a rookie at some point. And if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be this week. But I do have to look at the fact that Denver did all the traveling that they did, and now they just got back home this past week. So I'll play that into a role, too. So it's 7.5 points. I will say that the Giants will keep it within a touchdown at the end of the game, but ultimately I think Denver wins. But I got the Giants to cover. So Giants plus 7.5. You're going Denver minus 7.5.
So even if they lose, you win.
If they lose by less than a touchdown.
My point.
That's all. All right, game 2. Panthers, Jets. Carolina minus 1.5. The spread has gone down. It was Carolina minus 2.5. We've got Jet money coming in. Bart Scott, Carolina and the Jets. You are scowling just at the thought of the game, and you've got to work post-game afterward and pregame before.
Because Rico's been doing his thing. Will Aaron Glenn become so tied and so set in his ways about being able to say, you know what, Tyrod, go in if it goes bad? Will he say, listen, we just need a win, and that win means that Justin Fields has to get benched in the second, third quarter if he's not playing well, seeing the field well? Will he do that? That I don't know. That's what I'm nervous about. So with that being said, Rico Dowdle's 256 yards over the last couple weeks. I got to go with the Panthers, man.
Yeah, so do I. I kind of love the Panthers this week. Nothing against the Jets. I'm sure it'll be close enough.
I'm just trying to win.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the Jets are going to keep it close, but I think the Panthers get a road win this week. And you know what? I think this Dave Canales is a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
They were not horrible as they could have been last year after it started badly.
They got better at the end of the year when they started trading people away.
And they're 3-0 at home. They're 0-3 on the road. This is obviously going to the Jets, but I don't think that this is going to be any major problem in terms of road environments to play in. So I'll take the Panthers minus 1.5.
I mean, how many people are coming from the Christian belt coming up here bringing Bojangles sitting in the crowd? These Jet fans just tired and giving their tickets away.
I don't know if any Panther fans are really traveling all that much.
Hey, it's a lot of money in the church.
Game 3. Colts at 5-1 visiting the Chargers at 4-2. Chargers 1.5-point favorites over the Colts. What do you got?
So basically, they think the Colts are going to get it done, and I believe so as well. Nobody's playing better than Jonathan Taylor, and that's enabling Danny Dimes to be able to be comfortable and being able to create so much space with Tyler, with Warren out there, and then two guys on the outside. Their defense is playing well. I think the Colts are the surprise team of the year, and I think that Daniel Jones is going to be comeback player of the year, even though he never went nowhere.
Listen, I'm very high on the Colts as well, but their defense I still got questions about.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I'm going to take the Chargers this week because it's only -1.5.
I'm just nervous about who's running the ball for the Chargers.
I know, but they have a good enough quarterback where they should still be able to navigate that.
Okay.
Like if you don't have your star running back, and they don't, listen, Hampton's out. Obviously, Harris is hurt. They're always hurt. It's a problem. But I don't look at that as being the defining thing for them. If Herbert was out, I'd obviously have a much bigger issue.
They're just waiting for a Brees?
Yeah. If Brees Hall was a Charger, look out, Jack. That would be a hell of a move. I got the Chargers -1.5. So you're taking the Colts +1.5. You're taking the Carolina Panthers -1.5. And you are taking the Denver Broncos -7.5. I am taking the Chargers -1.5. I am taking the Panthers -1.5 and the Giants +7.5. Those are your picks. The Michael Kay Show is up next right here on ESPN New York, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Subscribe to the ESPN New York YouTube page and lock in on the ESPN New York app.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get